because he's been taken out of the game back at half-back. The Buckley influence is going to be very interesting to watch indeed. The team has been playing very, very well without him. Whether he comes in and maybe just disrupt their team pattern or style of play, that remains to be seen. There's a very heavy dew on the ground, so there could be a few balls fumbled. Absolutely no wind. It promises to be a great game of Australian rules footy.
Thanks, Curls. Looking forward to your call down on the boundary line. So Buckley looks like Stenglein has got him, and Freeborn's gone to Jarman in the goal square. So Jarman in the goal square playing one out as a forward, and a Freeborn with him, and there's Nathan Buckley. Not a bad matchup, Glenn Freeborn. He's a very classy player. So McKee and Clark, Lucuria, McLeod, little toe poke he tried. Stenglein over the top of it. Been a good player, Stenglein. He's been their #1 tagger. Well played by Steinfort to get it forward. Marsh has missed a sitter. Taken by Fraser. Handball to Malloy. He's 40 metres out. Good measuring kick to the goal square for Holland. Didn't have a shot, I don't think, Malloy. I think he should have from there. Well, Ben Marsh committing the Cardinals sin of letting the ball get behind. He missed the mark, and maybe that will happen on a dewy night, but the ball must fall in front. And Jared Malloy, too team-oriented, tried to share the ball around. Should have gone for goal. Marsh and Fraser, hands out by Goodwin. Marsh in the end off the ground. Rashudo, so Rashudo's got Dimartina with him. McLeod's handball on the up was pretty good. To Stevens at halfbacks, had a good year. Kicks to centre wing. Perry and Wakeland together. Shane Wakeland. Lockyer, the young gun for the Collingwood, kicks to half forward, and good mark. So Marsh wins the battle against Fraser early.
I thought Shirley was pretty good in that defensive move for the Crows just a moment ago too. The kick goes close to the line. The umpire right on the scene there, the boundary umpire that is, and made the decision that it should be thrown in. The Collingwood interchange bench. We start with Leon Davis, Damien Atkins. What a comeback it's been for Damien Atkins. Rupert Bathiris and Ben Johnson for Adelaide. They start with Hewitt, Byrne, Bassett and David Gallagher. We have David Gallagher and James Gallagher playing for Adelaide. Lucuria was caught, but he was able to get the hand pass away. Steinfort kicks it in towards half forward, gathered by Malloy. Breathe the ball magnet. Hand pass is a little astray. Gathering the ball now, Goodwin. Left foot kick is equally as errant. Fraser from about 50 metres gets underneath the kick, and it is a score. So the first score of the match is a behind to the Magpies. Kick by Josh Fraser.
Just enough desperation from Robert Shirley then, just to get to the kicking leg of Fraser, just to put him off balance.
Here is Robert Shirley. Crows had all sorts of problems against the Bombers in their last match with their kick-ins, but found Shirley. Now, that's interesting. He went to Clark, who had 2 on him in Malloy and McKee, so it wasn't a really good spot up. So McKee into Buckley. First time we've seen him. Good kick. Finds Holland. Holland's about 52 metres out. He's been a goal kicker.
Player in the pocket, or Nigel Smart got back and spotted him.
Was Malloy. So here's the lead, and Clement in front takes a very clever mark against Stevens.
Well, that is a very clever mark. James Clement's form has been tremendous this year. He's one of the reasons that Collingwood have had such a good year, but that's a very strong mark. He was able to push off Mark Stevens as the ball was in the air, and his hands when it actually when they found the ball was strong.
Versatility, one of his strengths.
It's a very good field kick. Let's see what he's like going for goal. They like it. He's got it, I think. He has. So Collingwood keep thinking back to that game, Graham, against Port. Port kicked the first 4 goals, and then Collingwood destroyed them after quarter time, but tonight they've come out running.
Well, I'm intrigued with Clement. He's obviously gone forward to take Rocker's spot there, and that's Mark Stevens is no easy player to take a mark over or in front of, but a bit of a surprise from Mick Malthouse.
Well, there he is, the goal kicker, James Clement. It was an excellent kick from about 40 metres, slight angle. Collingwood have kicked the only 2 scores of the match. They lead 1-1. The Crows yet to score. Skipworth taken to the ground, and congestion right near the centre circle here at Football Park. Just forward of that area favouring Adelaide.
There's the interchange, Robbo, for the Crows. There's a mismatch up forward. Presti Giacomo's got James Gallagher at the moment, Graham. James Gallagher's gone to centre half forward, and Big Presti's on him.
Yeah, well, that is a surprise.
Interesting point there, and we're watching the Crows try to clear a congested area just forward of the centre circle. Buckley went for the ball. couldn't quite grab it. And eventually with the footballer's Rashuto, he's taken to the ground and the umpire will call for a bounce.
Well, here's some of the matchup. Mark Rashuto and Dimartina. Goodwood running with Buckley at the moment, and Paul Lecuria with McLeod.
28 players in the forward half for Adelaide. At the moment, only 8 players in the Collingwood forward half of the ground. Nick Davis under a cloud before this match. Creeps away from half-back, kicks the ball into the middle. Oh, Clement got it, but the ruck work was provided by Fraser. Clement would probably kick a goal, you would think, from there. It looks pretty good. He's got his second, but Josh Fraser was terrific.
Well, it was an interesting move. Collingwood's forward line is extremely open. They've got players back in defence. They've moved it quickly to the forward line. Ben Marsh actually got front position, but the knock from Fraser and a good shepherd from Malloy there allowed Clement to dash inside 50. And some days you start where the ball finds you and it falls in your lap. He's done a couple of very good things. He's got 2 goals on the board, and I don't think Gary Ayres would have predicted that James Clement would have been the goal scorer for Collingwood in the first two scoring opportunities.
Terrific crowd here. Just how good was that kicker Clement at top speed, drilling it home, and Fraser's work outstanding, as Robbo said. So Collingwood with a start here. They lead 13-0. They're going well. Lecuria out of the centre, and Shirley front spot that time takes the mark. Crows have been inefficient all year. Just kept missing targets. McLeod's got Stevens on here. Well, Clement's got a couple on him, so Stevens might try and push forward here. The handball to Edwards. Edwards over the top. Finds Stenglein. Stenglein tries to break a tackle. He does. It's a wobbly, ordinary kick. Jarman's at the back. Almost a chance. Coming through Vardy. Is there a toe poke in there? It's a behind rush through. No, free kick to Collingwood, I think. Free kick to Collingwood for hanging on. And Tyson Lanes to get it.
Ooh, desperation stakes. Crows had a good look at the ball there, but the desperation of the Collingwood defenders forced it through and won the free kick.
Kick out wide, good to Freeborn. So Freeborn to run off Jarman here. Freeborn at half-back to kick to centre wing. And I think a free kick here against the Crows going to Collingwood.
Another holding incident there against Adelaide. Our umpires for tonight's game are Derek Woodcock, Mark McKenzie and Mark Nash. The footballers with Paul Lecuria. Usually a pretty good kick of the football, that's no exception. Just a little high, enabled the Crows defender to knock the ball away. Was that out on the full by O'Brien? No, it must have gone over just before he touched it with his boot.
I think O'Brien thinks the ball was out. Oh,
well, actually, no. It wasn't out on the full, Bruce. His little toe poke did bounce the ball, and then this kick has gone straight over for another boundary throw in Stenglein. No, it's a free kick to the Magpies by the look of it.
Stenglein kicked it out on the full.
Kicking it out on the full, Tyson Stenglein. And still indecision here. It's going to be thrown in.
What's the story? Must have played on.
Right on centre wing. Clark doing the ruck work. Goodwin some desperate stuff. Nick Davis was in there as well. The kick forward. Chance again now. It came from Dimartina. The kick by Malloy. Right to the goal square. Tarrant, no! I think the desperate move there by the Adelaide defender in Bickley was enormous. And he forces a rush behind when it looked an absolute certainty here. Just Brodie Holland, look at this. Oh, Mark Bickley, 10 out of 10.
Gee, the old captain, he was worth his weight in gold there. Rashuto wide. Collingwood look so dangerous, don't they? To Stenglein. Stenglein to centre wing. Now again, Stevens running off. Clement free kick against Lecuria. Terrific stuff, Stevens to McLeod on the burst. To Jarman. Nearly. Not quite. Good stuff at the back there by Freeborn to go with Jarman. Vardy inside 50. Hooks it back. Not bad. Jarman waiting. Just misses. Well, McLeod on the burst. Is Stevens coming off, Graham? Don't like the matchup with Clement. Bassett to come on.
Well, Bassett is a tough defender. There's no doubt about that.
It's a beautiful kick in here by Ryan Loney. Found Clement from 55 metres. Clement short kick out wide. Not too bad either. And that should be a free kick, surely. Not paid. It was Nick Davis who was held, I thought, when he didn't have the ball. Tackled from behind by McLeod. Forces a disputed ball. Now Nick Davis knocks it over for a boundary throw in off centre wing.
Yes, and again the kick-off coming out too easily for Collingwood. Gary Ayres continues to defend the Crows' strategy of man-on-man. saying it's the second kick that's the critical one, but the second kick invariably has the ball contesting on the wing as it is now.
What about holding the ball against Nick Davis? We just saw a replay of that. It just looks too blatant. With 3 umpires on the ground and they miss something like that. Anyway, Collingwood have got the ball all the way up to their full forward line. Taken away there by Marsh. Got the handball to Edwards. Edwards' kick is close to the line in the direction there of Shirley. Knocked away by Nick Davis. So 2 of the young guns in the caper. Robert Shirley hasn't played that much football, and Nick Davis. So we'll watch that match up pretty closely, because Nick Davis has been tremendous for the Magpies this year.
He is a classy young player. His balance is immaculate.
Taken here by Rasciuto. He got his kick away, gathered by Lockyer. Lockyer's kick inside the forward 50, and trying to make something out of nothing there was Malloy. The ball came to the back. Bickley gathered, got the handball to his compatriot in Nigel Smart. Smart's kick is a bit of an up and under. Not bad, a little push out. The mark has been taken by Dimatina, but the push out was seen by the umpire close to the action, and the free kick will go to the Adelaide Crows to be taken by Rasciuto.
Well, we have a great standard in this start. Both teams playing fast, running, pressure-packed footy.
So Rasciuto to Bickley to Perry. So where is the Roo playing after all of that, Corns?
He's playing half-back. He's running off the half-back line.
Perry to Marsh. So the Adelaide defenders are prepared to go forward. Marsh 60 metres from goal. Short to Vardy. The angle's tough, but he is a sharpshooter. He's going to go short to Kane Johnson. Stood his ground. Ball comes to the back. Stengline. Terrific tackle. Freeborn all over the top of him. The Vardy kick too slow to Kane Johnson. Gave Collingwood the chance to come in.
Well, just have a look. Just look at Malloy here. Tries to make something out of nothing. If that had gone through for a goal, it would have been the goal of the century.
It is his trademark. Call play on Presty. Got it from Josh Fraser. McLeod, clever mark against Lacuria. He looks sharp, McLeod. He's had 4 posies so far. Sits it up for Jarman. Not sure if that'll suit Darren. And too easy. Wait for a free kick to Jarman. Against Freeborn for hanging on. So Jarman.
There was a lot made of this hanging on of midfielders by the Carlton coach Wayne Britton. You wonder.
He looks unbelievably lucky from that angle.
Made it look worse than it really was.
That's as soft as you can possibly get. This is a gift from wherever. And he kicks the goal. Well, you need a bit of luck. Bradshaw got a lucky free kick last night. Kicked a goal, went on to kick 5. So Darren Jarman gets a bit of luck. The Crows get a goal and the 7 points in it.
Well, luck does come into it. There's nothing in this contest. Both players at each other, holding. And, well, it's hard to see from this angle. The other angle accentuated it a bit more, but, gee, it was very, very ticky-touch with.
Did it look, do you think, Graham, as if maybe he grabbed his arm in the contest, Glenn Freeborn?
Well, they both grappled, I thought.
So back in the centre, Adelaide have got their first goal through Darren Jarman. Collingwood lead 14-7. The bounce certainly favoured McKee, but gathering the ball is Goodwin. Was he tackled a little high? No, the umpires decided to bounce it once again, which was a little unusual because the ball just went to the ground, and a split second later, umpire's blown his whistle to bounce it. About 10 metres forward of the centre circle favouring the Magpies. The bounce certainly favoured Collingwood. Bassett under pressure from Clement. Ball just rugby style forced forward. Clement after it. He's well tackled back there by Shirley. And Bickley goes after the football with Brodie Holland and forces a throw in.
Fella, I know Fraser's done 1 or 2 things, but young Marsh has led him to the ball on every occasion so far.
Dimatina's dropped out the back here, Curl, so the Crows are going to have to watch him here. Fraser front spot. So Fraser Marsh could be one of the pivotal duels. McKee tried to break through, couldn't. McLeod over the top of it with Malloy, and it'll be either a ball up or a boundary throw-in. It'll be the latter.
I'm going to say Robert Shirley's desperation in these first 14 or 15 minutes have set some sort of a standard for the Crows.
Buckley's on his own, a centre-half forward for Collingwood here. They can get a kick out. He's all on his own. Goodwin tries to get through. And again, that'll be a bounce or a ball up. Gee, great start to this match. Some of the moves are interesting. Again, Buckley. Rasciuto's half between Buckley and the goal front.
And they've got them outnumbered back at the goal square too, Collingwood, 3-2.
Get a good shot of Buckley there. He's got no one within 20 metres of him. So just trying to create something here. Edwards, and again a boundary throw. So just a bit of a stalemate in the back pocket for the Crows. Collingwood right forward pocket.
Well, I don't know. McKee is the spare ruckman. Matthew Clark's back in the goal square, but there's another Collingwood forward player who hasn't got a Crows opponent.
Rashudo, it was a hard ball to get. McLeod looked like he got shoved in the back, no free. Rashudo has to check side from there, gets it outside the 50. Pretty good effort there by Stengline. Aubrey's handball okay to Clement, who's been good kick. Well, Buckley's been lingering for about 2 minutes.
Well, Simon Goodwood was running with him. Simon obviously decided, well, I'll go and find the ball, but you can't leave a player like Nathan Buckley within 50 metres of goals by himself.
That's correct, Graham. He can't be left free there.
Well, you saw him at home. He was on his own. We've got a good view right behind him here. Right behind Buckley. Comes out. Good-looking kick. He has hooked it. And going for distance with the hook. He's missed. Buckley this year has actually been very inaccurate. He's kicked a lot of points.
7-13, Bruce.
7-13.
7-14 now.
So, like McLeod, two players you'd expect to be pretty accurate. They've had some wobbles. Goodwin gets it from Edwards and goes out wide.
Yes, the combination from the reliable defenders there for the Crows. The ball finishes with Bickley, and Bickley kicks it high out towards the wing, and the mark has been paid to Matthew Clark. He's on centre wing for Adelaide. He kicks it into their forward half. Not bad either. Running back quickly and making good position was Perry. Handballs it off. This is James Gallagher. Left foot kick towards the front of the goals is quite straightforwardly mopped up back there by McKee. Oh, he's made an error. O'Bree's beaten for it by Stengline. The kick holding up wasn't well delivered at all there by Steve McKee. And he'd be pretty disappointed with that, one would think.
Well, it's a let-off for the Crows, but the tactic of James Gallagher running outside the player with the free kick or the mark onto his left boot deep in the pocket almost came unstuck then. So Tyson Stengline being able to intercept may get this momentum back for him.
Well, it's close, but doesn't score a goal. Misses by a small margin and registers are behind. 1-2-8. Adelaide trailing Collingwood, who are 2-3-15. Margin is 7 points in favour of the Magpies, and you could see there a cluster of players, but eventually the kick in, not marked by Freeborn. Chance now for Vardy, finishes with Edwards. Edwards steadies, delivers to the full forward area. Desperate moves needed now from the Magpies. Perry on Buckley. Buckley shrugs the tackle and then steps over the line. And what's the difference between a handball that goes out deliberately and a player with the ball who steps over the line? None, in my opinion.
Oh, I think you're entitled to back and give yourself some space.
Well, it's deliberate.
Gee, you'd be a hard umpire, Robbo, I tell you. McKee to Lockyer, to Buckley, not a good handball. Buckley almost panicked. Dare I say that he'd ever panicked? He probably didn't. He knew what he was doing. Got it to Loney. You always give the champs the benefit of the doubt. Clement to Bassett, out of play.
Good kick by that young fella. Then he's a natural left footer, and he got it out 40 metres away, further away from goal with his right.
The one tick to Gary Ayres with his man-on-man tactics on the kickoffs. That's even though it was Nathan Buckley kicking out then, Crows have been able to contain the ball in their forward half.
So Clark and McKee down to Edwards, busy early, little left foot to the pocket. Johnson front spot, Preston Giacomo. So the Crows are playing Johnson at centre half forward and Jarman at full forward, not marking overhead. You wouldn't say that's their strength, so they're going to have to do a little better the way they deliver to both Johnson and Jarman here. The high ball, slow ball in is not going to suit either. McKee front spot, Rashudo did well. And then Goodwin hooking back to about 20 metres. Wakeland, did Perry give him a push? Good tackle on Perry from Freeborn. Vardy with terrific strength, blazes as he can do. And a second shot on goal from Vardy misses. Saw him against the Bulldogs early, get about 4 kicks in the first quarter and spray the lot. But he is looking lively. 1-2 to 2-3.
Yes, well, would the drop punt have been the better option rather than trying to bend the ball over and around?
Well, just to look there from behind the player with the ball at what confronts him down the ground. McKee It was a free kick against McKee, but in the finish, an easy mark taken by Clark. He kicks into the middle, and the mark is taken by James Gallagher. He's just looking straight down the ground, but then kicks in towards the forward pocket region. Good mark, wasn't it, by Perry? Jumped early to just make his Collingwood opponent reach a little further in Wakeland. Wasn't able to get the arm outstretched to interfere with the flight of the ball, and Perry will shoot from about 45 metres.
He's determined to have a present, is Ian Perry. I guess the only problem with that lead is it now puts him deep on the half-forward flank. He's a left footer, however.
Well, he's got to kick the ball probably 50 metres to score and get the accuracy. As you mentioned, Graham, deep in that right forward pocket, right half-forward area. We've got excellent conditions, and that's an excellent kick, isn't it? We just watched the flight of that ball just go straight through the centre. Well, never doubt the kicking ability of the young modern AFL footballer. That was a magnificent kick by Ian Perry, and Adelaide have got their second goal. Collingwood lead by a point.
Well, he's fought his way back into this team with some strong performances from at South Adelaide, and a lot of Crows fans have been calling for him. He makes the contest, he presents himself to take the mark, and if he can convert like that consistently, he'll be a very hard man to match up.
Wonderful conversion by Perry. So he's the third forward. He's in the true centre half-forward area. Johnson playing between him and Jarman. So Adelaide have done well here after Collingwood jumped them with a couple of Clement goals. Buckley read it best. McLeod onto him. Ball up.
Bruce, Perry reminds me a little bit like Malloy. He will give you a strong physical contest up in that forward area.
Have you seen the first 15 minutes, girls, or 20 minutes?
Well, from the Crows' point of view, a lot better than I anticipated. They're playing pretty well, but Collingwood are a very, very good football side.
Their ability to move the ball quickly is impressive. Shirley did well from Clark. Here's Perry. Johnson at the back. Cressy Giacomo belts it away. Bouncing ball, Malloy.
Ooh.
Handball too hard for Buckley. Vardy. Buckley's got him and puts him down. Well, Vardy took him on, and Buckley put on a great tackle.
He's very unlucky not to get the free kick. He's taken him on. He's had prior opportunity, and that's when the tackling player should be rewarded. He's seen him coming. I said, I'll try and evade the tackle. He's been pinned with a perfect tackle. Not rewarded.
Out the back, Johnson. Left foot wide. Not badly weighted. This is Gallagher. Good spoil by Loney. Wakeland gets back. So Collingwood under pressure here, building towards the line. Clement kicked a couple of goals early. He's got some pace, hasn't he? Quick kick away to half forward. Ball beat Davis. Fraser trying to turn Marsh inside out. Still with Fraser, back to Aubrey. Aubrey between half forward and centre wing. Good kick to Tarrant. Dropped the mark. You haven't seen him do that for a long time. Back to Hart. Hart sweeps it to Marsh. Marsh's little give not good. Bickley under the pump. Fraser sweeps a handball. Malloy sits and waits. Terrific handball. McKee, left foot, a chance. I think it's home. It's a goal. Great goal. Wonderful team play. Bad error from Adelaide at half-back.
And just persistent tackling. The forward line players desperate to hold the ball in the area. Forced the error from Adelaide. And this fella here, by gee, he's impressive. McKee, Fraser as well for a big man. Sweeping handball, quick release by Malloy, and the left-footed McKee drills it. He's a ruckman. He's not a wingman, he's not a rover, he's a ruckman. Look at the mobility.
Well, Graham, I'd love to go back and watch Josh Fraser's hand pass on the far side, not the last one, on the far side when he got it to Aubrey. He looked behind him to see if Aubrey was going to be in trouble. That's how far ahead of the play he was. He's just a smart young player. The Crows now will go forward. Nigel Smart is about to kick the ball to within scoring range. Jarman, was he held? Umpire didn't think so. Darren Jarman just looking up there before he had control of the football. He feels as if he's being held. He tells Mark McKenzie so, but it will be thrown in about 49 metres. You can see there the contest between Darren Jarman and Glenn Freeborn. Umpire saw nothing in it, and play allowed to go on. Clark to Edwards. Edwards steadies off the left. Kicks to the front of the goals. Loney under a bit of pressure back there. There's a free kick. And will it be advantage? It might be, because Vardy will go in and miss. Now, what can happen there? The umpire can't bring it back?
Well, he should, really. There's no advantage, is there? Although the player takes the risk of playing on, But a free kick in front of goals, why wouldn't you take it rather than play on and run yourself wide?
There's the handball.
That one. He looked behind to see if it was terrific thinking play by the young boy. Well, now it's Tyson Lane who came in with Atkins to replace Anthony Rocker and Mark Richardson, who were late withdrawals for the Magpies. And surely that must upset their structure a little. Two talls out of the side, and the much shorter players in Lane and Atkins coming in.
Crows were a bit lucky there. There's a poor kick in forward. Gee, the pressure's on here. Smart and Hart, and Dimatina mops up Gallagher. Done pretty well. He did well against the Bombers under the pressure. Collected as he kicks the footy. Buckley's got it though at centre wing. Collingwood just forcing a couple of turnovers here. Buckley guns out wide to Steinford. Steinford delivers to centre half forward. Tarrant a target. Well played. Hart. Gallagher again. He's pulled off the ball when he didn't have it. No free kick. Little give out wide. Taken by Holland. Good kick to the front of the square. Stengline. O'Bree's a chance. Well played, Stengline. It was good stuff from both of them.
This game is hot, Bruce.
No question about that. Gee, Adelaide were fortunate a moment ago. Their huddle, Collingwood were going to go all the way, but Clement's kick was cut off by Gallagher. It was a poor one. They were let off the hook there with the huddle. It's hard to bring it back in.
We'll watch it closely throughout. The Adelaide Footy Club are very defensive about this. Any criticism about their tactics on the kick-off, and they get very annoyed if you do criticise, but I think the statistics will talk for themselves.
Sorry, go on, Grant.
It just seems so easy to bring the ball away from a kick-off.
Josh Fraser instrumental there again with a fist on the ball gathered by Buckley, who in turn has found Andrew Dimatina.
The other thing we're noticing is that Ben Hart's bringing the ball back in a real hurry tonight from the kick-ins. They took forever against the Bombers. 7
points the lead that Collingwood enjoy. We have 2 minutes left in this first quarter. Andrew Dimatina from about 45 metres. Kicks long and kicks accurately. The Magpies have got their fourth. Andrew Dimatina kicks his first goal in this match, and Collingwood lead 4-4-28 to 2-3-15, and we have 1.5 minutes left in the term.
Well, he's a steady player, isn't he, Andrew Dimatina? He's made something of his football career. It's a tough start. It was the spoil from Josh Fraser that created it, though. The kick in, rebounded, shot at goal. That's what you want to see.
So Dimatina's got the job with Rashudo. Fraser again important there. Building the ball back. So Collingwood respond with the last couple of goals late in the quarter. Real battle going on here between Goodwin and also Buckley at the centre bounce. Steinford wrapped up. Stengline's a terrific young player. McKee's handball out. Chance for McLeod. He's away. He kicks to centre half forward. Johnson takes a clever mark.
Bruce, just the Collingwood supporters back home. The information on Richardson and Rocker. Richardson a slight calf injury and Rocker a virus.
Thanks, Curls. That's good to know that.
Now, this is the difference between having forward line players start deep in the forward pocket of the goal square, space in front of them, and delivering the ball into the centre corridor.
Johnson, good looking kick, he's got it. So the three players that have kicked the goals are their three forwards tonight: Jarman, Perry and Johnson. So they've got a return out of those three up forward so far.
Just watch as Andrew McLeod doesn't have time to steady, just gets it to the killing zone in front of goals, 20 or 30 metres. If there's space there for a forward to run into, that's the perfect way to bring the ball forward.
Gene Clark important there, just got a hand on it at the centre bounce to create that opportunity for Andrew McLeod. So 3-3-21, the Crows, the Magpies 4-4-28. Pretty good bounce, but just missing it altogether was McKee. It's gathered here by Edwards. He's allowed to settle and then kicks with the left in towards half forward. Punched away by Wakeland. Back to the area of Stengline and O'Bree. O'Bree's hand passes to Buckley. Close to the line, Clement can't control it. And Bassett there with James Clement. The ball over for a boundary throw in between wing and right half forward, favouring the Pies. Coming off is Nick Davis, and he will be replaced by Damien Atkins. And it's a tremendous fillip for a Collingwood supporter, I'm sure, to see Damien Atkins. He's been off the scene for a long time, and he was an exciting prospect when he was playing earlier in his career. Now, the opportunity here is with the Adelaide Crows to clear. Rashudo receiving from McLeod, taken to the ground Goodwin, Dimartina the tackler, and the umpire has seen an infringement. It will go to the midfielder for Adelaide, Simon Goodwin. Perhaps the last passage of play building up here. Simon Goodwin's kick is close to the line. And no mark taken. Prestigiacomo just lost the ball momentarily, but his feed towards the boundary line was successful, so we'll have a throw in with only seconds left in the term. 4-4 to 3-3. Collingwood lead by 7 points. It's been a fairly entertaining first term. Both teams searching each other out, and very much the 4 points in the balance here with 3 quarters remaining. There is the siren to end the first term, and Collingwood lead by 7 points at quarter time. The Magpies are 4-4-28. Adelaide are 3-3-21.
Felt like a good standard to me. Gee, it was a good game.
It's a very, very good game, and Collingwood setting the scene with their attack on the ball and their positive attacking intent. Adelaide standing up to it and rebounding pretty well. This is not a game that's being marred by flooding or negative tactics. Scoreboard's there's only 7 goals scored, but it's open, it's free running, and there's some very good skills on display out there. I think we're going to be in for a very good game.
Here, it looks that way. Terrific crowd, a lot of atmosphere. Mickey Malthouse and Gary Ayres, the opposing coaches. So quarter time, it's the Maggies over the Crows, 28-21.
Clash between Fraser and Marsh. Marsh playing centre-half back on Fraser playing centre-half forward. That's interesting.
Start of the second term, Leon Davis on the ground for Collingwood. He's right alongside Chris Tarrant in the goal square. So he's going to rove to Tarrant here. So it's Collingwood to the right of screen. Clark doing well in the rucks. Edwards had 6 kicks in the opening turn. McKee maybe into his back, but he got onto him quickly. Loose ball out wide. Chance for Collingwood to go forward. This is Atkins' first kick this year to fall forward. Tarrant. Here's Leon Davis. He was terrific last week against West Coast. Sweeps the handball back. Steinford's kick. He's hooked and it won't be a goal. It's a bad miss in the end. What a handball by Davis.
A handball. What awareness. It's a magnificent hamstring. Was it a left-hand or a right-handed one? He was on his left-hand side.
He banged it with his right, but I tell you what, to put him on the ground and put him at the feet of Chris Tarrant, it nearly worked straight away.
Goodwin here. He's lively, Davis, there's no doubt. So Goodwin gets it to Gallagher. Liked his game, as we did the first time we saw him. He can kick a footy. So can his uncle Phil and his granddad Sammy, as he kicks the ball to Stengline at centre wing. They were great players for Norwood, the relations of James Gallagher. The kick to centre-half forward to Perry was a poor kick from Stengline. Gave Perry little chance. Now Steinford's under the gun, but he did really well to get it back to Buckley. Buckley's 8th kick is a good one. He found touch in the rugby sense, and it'll be a boundary throw in.
Jared Malloy doesn't think it's a good one. He said, I was by myself. Why didn't you find me? And Buck said, well, couldn't see 3 or 4 players.
I am human, Jared, after all.
Yes, he's a terrific player, Nathan Buckley, and on that occasion, perhaps the option that he elected to take was obvious to him. He's going to get on the end of it again. This time he hooks the kick in the Malloy area. Malloy will go back and Nillygather, taken by McKee. Went fiercely at the football so he could break the tackle. Smart. Malloy too high against Smart. Obvious free kick there to the Collingwood forward in Jared Malloy. He's too far out to score, about 70 metres from goal.
Yeah, just taken high.
Short kick is all right, and Davis has got it. Begging, beckoning. Please provide me with a lead. I'm too far out to score. Now Tarrant, but he goes into the pocket and decides to go in the direction there of Atkins and Shirley, but the ball is over for a boundary throw-in.
Crows in a change. Graham, Leon Davis's leg speed will be a problem for Mark Bickley. The Bickley-Holland matchup was okay for the Crows, but he just couldn't go with Davis on the lead there.
Yes, Mark Bickley goes at the ball too. He just sees only the ball. Perhaps he's got to sweat off on Leon Davis a bit more.
McLeod tackled by Lacuria and eventually brought to a halt.
Sorry, Robert, there's no doubt that Leon Davis is an exciting player, isn't he?
Yeah, but Bruce, is there anybody in the AFL quick enough to go with him?
Good question, but certainly not Bickley.
So right in front of the Magpie goal, McLeod couldn't get an effective kick away. The tackle there by Fraser was deemed as illegal, so the Crows will get away from their full back line. Clark couldn't take the mark. McKee there to provide a contest. Back to Wakeland. Wakeland off the left. Just lobs the ball at half forward. punched away in the finish by Marsh and forces a boundary throw in about 75 to 80 metres from the Magpie goal. Collingwood 4-5, lead Adelaide 3-3 early in the second term. Tarrant credited so far with just a couple of tackles, being matched up presently by Ben Hart. Collingwood will need something from Chris Tarrant if they're to finish in front, you would think, in this match. Umpire to bounce just outside the forward 50 for the Magpies. Buckley just peeling off the pack. He's on his own now, coming across. Buckley was Bassett, but he's had to leave his opponent in Lockyer. And while all that was going on, the ball has been forced down the ground about another 85 metres, and it will be thrown in just forward of centre wing, favouring Adelaide. Collingwood 29, lead Adelaide 21, and right now it is at left half forward for the Crows. Getting through as Vardy did pretty well in the finish, then again blazed away, and it was an excellent mark taken by Freeborn because that ball came in very awkwardly. Loney kicks it out in front of Clement. He with Bassett. This will be a good contest. The respective number 8s in their lineups, and eventually Clement toe poking it forward for the ball to be thrown in on centre wing.
Somehow Nathan Buckley has manufactured a match-up here with...
he's working out the forward pocket, Graham.
With young Gallagher.
Yeah.
Gallagher started on the wing with the young fella Tarquin Lockyer, but he's gone forward and Gallagher's gone with him. Gary Ayres won't be too happy with that match-up, I wouldn't think.
Edwards good to Johnson to Stengline. Gets it to Rashudo. Rashudo wide. Here is Gallagher. He's busy. He runs his full measure. Kicks to centre half forward. A bit of a wrestle. Vardy goes to ground. Tyson Lane slapped it out pretty effectively. Leading in the race is Freeborn. He's done well on Jarman. Freeborn to take Clark on. Clark can't fall over here. That'll be the key. He's got to hold his ground, and he does really well. And did hold his ground. And then Vardy with some strength. McKee holds him up. Terrific contest.
Yes, when the Adelaide crowd are beside themselves, they thought a couple of Adelaide players will hold there. Peter Vardy particularly held, and is McKee holding his shoulder there? It's a fairly savage tackle. He got up holding his shoulder, but
the doctor's going out to have a look. He's standing right by the boundary line, the doctor.
Let's see how he goes for it here. McKee curls and Cornsey.
What were they screaming about?
Clark to Edwards.
Holding on Vardy. They thought Vardy was held by Tyson Lane as the ball came in.
Gee, I tell you what, I'd be screaming if I was a forward and Vardy kept kicking the footy like he is at the moment. I mean, he's just slaughtering it when he gets it.
He's blasting.
He's giving them no chance up forward. Clark. Kane Johnson getting involved. He's starting to get a few kicks. Jarman uses his body really well. He just gave Freeborn a little shove about 10 metres before the ball got there and took a very, very cosy mark in the end.
It's just the twist of the body here. Watch this. Just twists it. Breaks the ball in, and Glenn Freeborn's not a big player. Didn't have the height to go with it.
Tell you what, if he can get one kick every quarter within 20 metres of the goal, he'll end up with 4 tonight. So that would be the return that they'd love to get. There's his second. He's only had 2 kicks.
I'll tell you what, Bruce, I reckon if you sit Darren Jarman back in defence, the opposition wouldn't laugh at it, but they'd be quite happy because you haven't got him up there as a threat. He's back in defence, but up on the forward line, as you said, he doesn't have to touch it very much. He's a beautiful kick of the football.
Yes, I tell you what though, his form across half-back in a couple of games was sensational.
Well, Darren Jarman, along with James Clement, are the leading goal kickers in this match, 2 apiece. 4-3 to 4-5. Collingwood by 2 points. Collingwood yet to kick a goal in this second term. The Crows have just kicked their first for the quarter. Up high was Fraser, missed the ball. Taken away by Marsh, confronted by McKee. Johnson found a path and then kicked it forward, and kicked it forward quite efficiently. Punched away from the back there by Prestigiacomo. Lockyer taken high.
Does too much of that, Darren, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's got to take the tackle low. You've got to put the tackle beyond doubt, and there's no doubt about that.
Fraser, the recipient of the kick wide at right half back. He goes short, and the mark is taken down here in front of us by Atkins. He's on centre wing, matched up presently with Shirley.
Mark Stevens has gone to the half-forward flank. Hayden Skipworth has come off for Adelaide.
Good crumbing by Dimatina. Hand pass was intended for Malloy. Perhaps should have tried to grab Goodwin. Tried to bump him instead. Goodwin got the kick away, and the mark is taken by Perry. Adelaide running beautifully now. He can go short, but he decides to go long in the direction of McLeod, and McLeod nearly took the mark. Chance here for Jarman again. He's going to get a second kick in the quarter. No, the hand pass to McLeod. McLeod's kick to the front of the square and punched away by Wakeland. Hits the goalpost for a rush behind to be credited to the Adelaide score.
Andrew McLeod has changed with Kane Johnson and is playing one out in the goal square, which is not a bad matchup for Adelaide. Rupert Betheris coming onto the ground, and big Simon Prestigiacomo, I think, coming off. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is, yes.
Lucky might take Jarman on here. He didn't. Jarman chased hard, and the Crows have got a chance. Bassett at centre wing. Still Bassett, bit slow to get the boot onto the ball. Stengline takes on the tackler. Good tackle by Loney. Marsh kept his head under it. McKee, a very important toe poke. Terrific play to Lane. Lane, uncertain, has to go back to Lockyer and found him. Just a point in this game. Lockyer wide to Steinford.
Gee, that was the personification of retaining possession of the ball, wasn't it?
So Steinford down the ground. Coming on Betheris. Gee, he was good last week, Betheris. When he came off the interchange, Steinford to Buckley. Buckley's been able to get loose, measures it from there and puts it home like the champion that he is.
Gee, that's a good kick.
Great goal.
Yes, and unfortunately it comes from one of Adelaide's kickoffs, one of Collingwood's kickoffs, and was looking okay there for a while. Adelaide looked like holding it up, but some coolness under pressure by a couple of Collingwood defenders. Saw them switch play and just ran it down this grandstand side. Buckley getting onto the end of it here. There's no doubt, look how cool and calm. It's not an easy kick. That is a very difficult kick here on Football Park.
He would have played here a bit though, wouldn't he, Graham?
Played a little bit. He had one full season with the SANFL, won his Gary medal, and then went off to the AFL. Developed late. He wasn't a youngster who came under notice through the junior development, but when he started playing for Port Adelaide, he was a star.
So I was here one day to watch, to commentate on one of the AFL games, and I watched one of the SA NFL games that he played in. I reckon he had 48 touches in the game. And just an absolute star, Nathan Buckley. This bloke's not bad either, Darren Jarman.
Who did he show him the ball then?
And he nearly, if he went back and had a shot, he nearly kicked this. He's pumped it all the way, and it's a goal! Magnificent kick. Don't worry about that bloke's ability to kick the football either. He with Scott Camperelli are probably the two best kicks in the caper, and Darren Jarman has kicked 3.
Tell you what, Kane Johnson, Cornsey. Kane Johnson's made a huge difference in the centre here.
He's a classy player too. Just finds the ball, and he's not an explosive player. He's got beautiful balance, uses it wonderfully, and great kick from Jarman.
Well, 3 kicks, Jarman 3 goals. But I think Mickey Malthouse is committed to Freeborn, and why not? But one more and you might find a move. Johnson doing very well in the centre square in the last 15 minutes for the Crows. Terrific game here. So Buckley at one end and Jarman at the other in the last couple of minutes. We've been treated a bit. Gallagher's kick not good. Steinford takes a courageous mark. Edwards coming in just a bit late. Terrific contest here. Collingwood by a point. Freeborn on the left. Jarman would have put a few doubts in his mind. Marsh couldn't hold the mark. It wasn't easy. Well done by Buckley to Lockyer, to Betheris, to Steinford on the run. Jarman pushed him in the back. Lockyer, little one, terrific. Well, I thought terrific was cut off. Terrence Handball back to Lockyer. Lockyer gets around, goes for goal. Close. He's got it. It's a goal.
You know, he deserved that. He provided a target, didn't he? From way back, he was involved in that play all the way down to eventually kicking the goal.
Beautifully balanced. A great interception by Mark Bickley. We might see it here. There's the Mark Bickley just gets a hand to it. It was going to hit Tarrant on the chest. Lockyer follows up. Whoop, stop, prop, and gets just the right amount of boot on that ball to get it spinning from right to left. He's a good young player too.
Did well, didn't he? Tarkin Lockyer, the goal kicker for the Magpies, and still Collingwood just keep their noses in front of the Crows. They lead by 7 points, and we're halfway through the second term. Entertaining football Saturday night on 7 at Football Park here in Adelaide. Fraser and Marsh. Edwards tackled by Buckley. Fraser, handball. Vision okay. Bathiris was the recipient of the hand pass. Bathiris good. It was a good kick. He's been important, Bathiris too. A couple of hand passes, and now that bullet-like pass onto the chest of Tarrant. Opportunity for the Magpies to goal.
They give him space, and when you've got space and that much pace, the kick only has to be half good to find his mate, and that was a very good kick from Bathiris.
First mark, first kick coming up for Chris Tarrant. Shoots for goal, and he's put it through. The Magpies have kicked the last two.
Well, all of a sudden, they've blown the game out a little bit. Well, not completely, but a 2-goal lead going in to half-time, just before half-time, is handy. But this is where Adelaide really has to concentrate. They've lost games, so many games of football this year, in just 10 or 15 minutes of football.
It's good play by Bathiris, as Robbo said. Fraser getting it out. Bathiris' kick was a beauty to Tarrant. So great build-up by Collingwood there, and Tarrant delivering. So suddenly Collingwood 13 points in front. McKee, next goal pretty important here. Bassett to Edwards. Edwards takes them on. Good tackle though. Back to Perry. Comes back to Bassett. Now he's not a very long kick. Wobbly, awful looking kick off the boot. Good contest in the front there from Stevens, and the ball out of play. And a boundary throw in.
I tell you what, young James Gallagher is getting right amongst it. For somebody who's not huge, he has got an innate ability to find the ball. 7 kicks already, 3 marks.
Buckley at the back. Just think Adelaide need the next goal here. Lockyer's unlucky. Jarman, left foot misses. Well, Lockyer was stiff. He kicked it into the back of one of his players, and Jarman unable to make the most of it. And you can see Gary is thinking, well, that one just got away. They do need the next goal in the context of this match, Adelaide. Collingwood are just starting to edge away here.
Here we are, the Russian roulette that is the kick-off.
Mercuria gets it. So this is where Adelaide defend this system. They say the next kick doesn't work for the opposition. We're able to hold it up. And it looks like on this occasion there, well, it came over the back, didn't it? And Johnson to Fraser. Here's danger. Fraser can use Leon Davis. Goes for goal, interestingly. Tarrant's a chance against Bickley. Bickley did very well. Hart's got to keep his call here. He did. It was a terrific kick by Hart. Got distance and got the right angle. To Gallagher, we do like him. Short to Bassett. Played Clement. That was terrific stuff by Clement.
Oh.
Boundary throw in. So good play here from one end to the other.
I tell you what, Clement's speed to get to that contest. Bassett was going to wrap that mark up. Clement came from behind, spoiled it strongly, and then when the ball was on the ground, Carl Steinford's attack on young Gallagher made sure it went out of bounds.
Oh, a big punch forward for the Magpies. Lands the ball with Josh Fraser. He rode the bump, and then that could have been nearly deemed as a throw. Marsh. That breaks down because Dimatina is there. He kicks into the pocket, and a good strong mark taken by Ben Hart.
Well, he missed Nathan Buckley by himself.
Rashudo goes short to Smart. So the combination there between the veterans, Bickley coming from Ben Hart, and then Smart, and now Rashudo. Played a few games for the Crows, those 4 players. Kicks it forward. The ball spills at half forward. Chance here for Vardy, looking for the free kick. Kicked away by the Magpies. Out wide, Gallagher again. Waitland desperate. Fell over. Gallagher got the hand pass away. Chance now for Mark Stevens. In the pocket. Kicks the ball towards full forward. No mark taken. Spillage gathered by Vardy. And Vardy eventually kicks a goal for the Crows. He's tried very hard, Peter Vardy. He's had a couple of line shots at goal and has only scored a point before that. But that was a good snapshot for his first goal. And Adelaide have got their 6th. It is now a 6-point margin in favour of Collingwood.
James Gallagher again fighting for the ball, finally getting to Stevens, and Perry perhaps could have marked. Vardy again bending that ball, but this time accurately. Ooh, complaining, he got pushed out there too.
Well, that gets the monkey off his back, doesn't it? And Adelaide got that important goal to close it again at 6-5 to 7-5. Plenty of time remaining before half-time. Terrific match here. Clark winning it, but Collingwood starting to get it out of the centre. Lecuria's little one to Johnson. Oh, well done, Buckley. Brilliantly to Fraser. Fraser's little one to Dimatina. And Adelaide getting caught a bit with Collingwood able to get forward of the ball here. And
Collingwood also, sorry boys, Collingwood have also worked out Matthew Clark's tap at the centre, and they're reading that beautifully.
They've won the last 3 or 4 curls, haven't they?
Yes, and they've all come from Matty Clark's hands.
This is a belated opportunity for Andrew Dimatina, and it came from Josh Fraser. A few moments ago, Josh Fraser kicked blindly to the square, and Andrew Dimatina was just off to the right. You wonder sometimes when players of this ilk, who haven't played a lot of football, really command the football to be delivered to them.
Well, he's kicked 1 goal tonight, Robbo. This is a tough kick. 49 metres out. It is coming back. It won't be a goal. And Clark got his fingers on it. They all misread it, actually. It came back late, and it didn't quite have the depth. So behind to Dimatina. Yeah, sometimes if Nathan Buckley's calling for it, you're more likely to kick it to him than Andrew Dimatina.
He demands it, though, Bruce, doesn't he? You know, and eventually he does get it.
Shirley's kick. Adelaide's kick-ins have worked a bit better for them tonight.
Yes, the Collingwood screen isn't working effectively at all, which would give Gary Ayres some consolation.
So Stengline to Marsh, big fly. Well done by Goodwin to punch forward towards McLeod. McLeod hasn't had much impact. He's had 6 and 2, but he's been pretty well held today. Lecurier doing the job.
They're running with him. Lecurier had 5 kicks and 1 handball himself.
You'd take those stats if you were Mick Malthouse, wouldn't you? Yeah. Just a couple of the difference, and McLeod not really damaging. Here's Lecurier, and he gets away too easily from Clark, and now can penetrate to Buckley, to Lecurier again. So Lecurier gets to about 70 metres. Nicely weighted kick. Tarrant almost. Hart's having a great contest with Tarrant. Tarrant to Johnson. Back to Malloy. Malloy's left foot. Looks good. It's a goal. That's where Collingwood are damaging. They seem to be cleaner than Adelaide forward, and 3 or 4 times in this quarter they've won 50-50s at half forward and have resulted in goals.
Well, the thing is, Tarrant isn't quite on his game tonight. Ben Hart is playing really well, but look at him hunt the ball there after missing the mark. And just a little give by Ben Johnson, and that's a risky kick, clever kick. Left foot banana ball, but he's classy enough to make it count.
It was, wasn't it? It was very efficient play there by Collingwood, and Johnson was right in the middle of it as well with Tarrant. So working industriously up on their full forward line, the Magpies, and they've conjured up their 8th goal. They led 8-6-54 to Adelaide, 6-5-41. Adelaide can get to within a goal, but they struggle then to get the all-important goal that is going to get them up level, and hopefully at the end of the game for their supporters, maybe in front. Ben Hart wide at right half-back.
That was a great mark by Tyson Stengline under all sorts of pressure previously.
Close to the line, but just marked inside there by Shirley. He's not quite up to the wing. He'll kick the ball past that area and nearly up towards right half forward. Buckley was in the middle of the action. Nick Davis back on the ground there for the Magpies, and in front of a sea of faces really out there on centre wing. Terrific crowd in here for this match between Adelaide and the visiting Magpies. Buckley with 14 possessions. Darren Jarman 3 goals from 4 kicks. 11 possessions to Stengline. Buckley again. Back to Fraser. Fraser's kick is all right, and Steinford is marked. Malloy is there, smart, but running away with the football is Steinford. He looks down the ground, kicks long, high into the pocket. Tarrant and Ben Hart gathered by Davis. Electrifying speed by Leon Davis. Kicks across his left shoulder, and the goal of the night so far to Leon Davis for the Magpies.
Yeah, you didn't get much room there. Found the ball with some space, but Mark Bickley closed on him dramatically and made a great contest to try and smother. Steinford doing well. Just watch Tarrant fighting for it. Ben Hart doing well. Gets some distance, but watch the dive from Bickley. Would normally be enough to put most players off their balance, but Leon Davis, what an excitement machine he is.
Danger time here, isn't it, for Adelaide, because this is the big margin of the match. It's a 3-goal game, and as Neil Curley said a moment ago, Collingwood seem to be taking the ball out of the centre with some regularity at the moment. So back in the centre square. Now the Crows with a chance. Edwards to McLeod. They haven't done that for a little while. McLeod takes Fraser on and kicks to full forward. Stevens there. Loney did really well. Vardy roving at the bottom of the pack. Still with Vardy. Little gift to Goodwin. Goodwin hooks back to the front of the square. Marsh has got the height advantage. He was crashed into. No free kick. Little left footed by McKee. Gee, Collingwood have done well here to get out of that. They had all the odds against them in the goal square.
Bruce, strangely enough, Adelaide have the ascendancy. They've taken it out 5 times to Collingwood's 4.
Collingwood probably had 4 in a row, I think.
Yep.
Adelaide early, and then Collingwood in the middle, and then Adelaide that time. So 9-6-6-5. Collingwood holding up very well. Bassett, Bathiris, out to Johnson, back to Bassett. That awkward kicking style to full forward. Stevens there. Rashudo, still Rashudo. A chance for Jarman to go. He's got 4. He's got 4.
This is just persistence and effective crumbing. It looked like Mark Rashudo was in for an easy goal, but the desperation of the Collingwood defence held it up.
Hey, Cornsey, when do you reckon they'll start Jarman next week?
He's too good a player, Bruce, to be in defence, I reckon.
It did work down back, but it's been a good move by Gary Ayres. A terrific move by Gary Ayres to put him forward tonight.
Oh, great desperation now. They might argue how Brew got rid of it, but it's a goal.
Well, he certainly is a terrific player, Darren Jarman. Well into his 30s, but still playing classy football. He's kicked 4 out of Adelaide's 7 goals. 34 years of age, to be exact. Now Buckley, taken a little high, but he ducked his head, so the umpire called play on, which perhaps wasn't such a bad decision. Johnson's kick has been well marked. That's Kane Johnson for Adelaide. Well marked back there by Shane Wakeland. Goes off with the left foot out wide. Shirley did well, but what about Josh Fraser? Yeah. He just raked that ball in beautifully. Freeborn goes in towards the middle where Steinford is on his own. He can handball the ball forward to Johnson. Johnson looks further afield, kicks in the direction of Tarrant, gathered at the back by Stengline. They've messed it up. Nick Davis will gather, can't get away quickly enough. Surely there's something wrong with Nick Davis, because in that situation he would have done a little better, I'm sure, if he was 100% fit. Johnson has the ball on centre wing. Kane Johnson for Adelaide. Looks, kicks, delivers into the pocket. Jarman! Oh, he nearly got on the end of that too. Glenn Freeborn looking anxiously at where the ball is. It's right at the feet there of Shane Wakeland, who takes it over for a boundary throw-in.
That dash away for Adelaide came from Byrne too. He's just come on the ground. He was able to get it out to Kane Johnson.
Yeah, Mick Malthouse is going to have to do some serious thinking come half-time. Does he leave Freeborn on Jarman? 4 goals and a half, makes 8 for a game. He's probably got to make a move there.
Johnson's kick towards the square. Jarman is there again. Punched away there by Bathiris for a throw-in, only a matter of 30 metres around from the Adelaide goal. And vehemently down the line, the instructions are being barked by the coach there. 3.5 minutes left in the term. Magpies would do well if they could hold the Adelaide Crows up. They may not. Rashudo, flying shot at goal, good distance, accuracy, goal Adelaide. So they didn't just get the next goal, Bruce, they got the next couple, and they've pulled back once again to within 7 points of the Magpies.
It was magnificent work by Ben Marsh. He saw the tap in, Mark Rashudo ran onto it, the strength there. He wasn't going to let himself be tackled. He fended off with the left arm, had a good look at the goals. He had to bend that ball around his body, but did it in a controlled, unhurried manner. The captain very keen to have an impact on this game.
Terrific match, isn't it? It really is. Both sides, and no flooding. Gee, it's good to watch. 8 goals to 9. Adelaide making a move here. They've come back hard. Goodwin out of the centre to centre half forward. Stevens nearly. Bassett up there, gets a handball. Little kick by Shirley to full forward. Jarman's got it. Oh, he's having a night out tonight. He's turning the clock back. He's revisiting 1997 and 1998.
He's playing sensationally. He played in front, but there was a very average bounce at the centre bounce then, which allowed Adelaide to take that away uncontested. We might look at it in a second. I mean, no team should get that advantage.
Well, this to put Adelaide within a point and to give Jarman 5 for the first half. His kicks for goal have all been from about 20 metres out. Careful as he does it, puts it home. Well, they've kicked the last 3. This game has gone up a notch. Collingwood had threatened to burst it open 5 minutes ago. It was a dreadful bounce. That wasn't even a chicken little bounce, was it?
Not at all. Just went straight to Simon Goodwin. Now you just can't give a team that advantage.
That was a turkey, that one.
So,
what do you do with Freeborn? Do you keep Freeborn on him?
Yeah, look, well done, son, but it's time to move on.
Well, Darren Jarman, 5 goals out of 9, and Adelaide to within 1 point of the Magpies after the Collingwood side had led by about 19 at one stage during this term. Collingwood a chance here. Stingline trying to keep Davis away from the ball, and he did it long enough for McLeod to get in there and support him. McLeod kicks it back to the middle, but it's marked by Bathiris away from Edwards. Gives the hand pass away. Wakelin running in support. Little left foot kick by Shane Wakelin is good. Onto the chest there of Buckley. Buckley coming up for kick number 11. Possession number 16 is all right too. And the lead was on it. Came from Malloy. Buckley's kick onto Malloy's chest. And Malloy will shoot from about 40 metres. And the angle is his greatest area of concern, one would think.
Well, it's the way footy should be played. It's a beautiful night. The Guernseys are contrasting. There's no confusion out there. Both teams are playing attacking footy. There's great skills on displays, both with hands and with foot. The team that loses will be unfortunate.
McLeod working off half-back, being picked up by Dimatina.
Malloy going for his 18th goal for the year. He's had 35 shots at goal and converting at 50% at the moment. He's missed the goals by a reasonable margin. Just got through for a behind. Kicking in duties provided there by Ben Hart to Goodwin. Goodwin out wide, not too bad either. Mark taken by Byrne.
Adelaide are coming away far too easily on these kickoffs.
1 minute left in the first half. Hand pass to Rashudo. Rashudo kicks the ball, approaching left half forward. The crumbs gathered by Johnson. Over the top was Marsh. Got the handball out to Shirley. Shirley's little kick. At the feet there of Bassett. Got the handball to Johnson. Johnson's short kick, vision terrific. Perry looking to play on, which is not such a bad idea, but now in the finish, kicks blindly in towards half forward. It's mopped up by Bathiris. A promising forward move breaks down there for the Adelaide Crows. Bathiris with the ball, decides on the hand pass, goes out wide to Freeborn. Freeborn close to the line. Wakelin, it's out on the full, I would have thought. Gee, it looked like Shane Wakelin was well past the boundary line then when he attempted to take that chest mark.
Yeah. Crows crowd agreed with you. They're giving no quarter. Well, hard to tell from here.
Well, the boundary umpire has now thrown it in, and the dispute on centre wing, that was a little high, was it? The tackle coming from Johnson on Byrne. Byrne's kick. Oh, disputed mark there between two Collingwood players. Vardy, the crummer. Have a guess who's got it? Gee, for mine, I don't... Oh, well, I don't know. I suppose coaches know more than us commentators. But
he was waiting to half-time to make the change because there was only minutes to go, and in those minute and a half, I guess Darren Jarman was going to kick 2 goals.
Gee, could his stage be better set? I mean, the siren goes, Jarman to put them in front. 5 goals for the quarter, 6 for the first half. You couldn't have a better stage here. One way or the other, there's going to be a mighty roar of Big Si in just a moment.
Well, I'll back him because I think he's just a magnificent kick of the football. He just leans back and see you later. It's a goal. 6 to Darren Jarman. Have a look at this. Go to the rooms. Pumped up like this. The Adelaide Crows are in front at half-time.
Of course, he has kicked 5 goals in a corner before in one very memorable game for Adelaide, the last quarter of the 1997 grand final. There's been a few critics in Adelaide saying that maybe his time is nigh, but he is such a classy player.
I know this week he spoke to team management and said, well, I'm going to treat this like it's one of my last games. I'm going to treat it like a grand final. I'm going to give you everything I've got. Well, he's done that and a bit more. What a game. Adelaide 10-5 to 9-7.
Football tonight.
Well, Neil, James Clement was a very good defender for Fremantle before he crossed over, and I know Kevin Sheedy's a huge rap for James Clement as a footballer, and I said earlier when he kicked a goal, adaptability is one of his strengths.
So okay, it'll be interesting.
Start of the second half, girls. So your second thoughts were good, Cornsey. It is Clement on Jarman, and the Crows, who had all the momentum at half-time with that Jarman goal after the siren.
I did have some help from Robbo, though, the assistant coach here, Bruce.
Well, I sat here, Graham, and I just couldn't quite get that to you, but I looked down their list, and they really do struggle to have a negator in defence, and he looked as if he would be the first one they'd tried in this second half.
Adelaide kicked the last 4 goals of the first half after Collingwood got a 19-point advantage. McLeod, Bathiris has been terrific to Buckley. Back to Wakeland, takes Perry on effectively.
Well done.
Lovely kick by Wakeland to Freeborn. He'll be pleased that he's away from the goal square. Did well on Jarman early, but then it all fell apart. Now he's got Dimartina running. Dimartina slipped Rashudo there. Gets away, straightens the body, short to Tarrant. Beautiful footy.
Well, this is ominous because Tarrant did find some space in the first half, but he couldn't get away from Ben Hart. Ben Hart's performance on him was really good, but he had space then. An excellent delivery of the ball. Very good hands. Pace through the ball. Now all he has to do is convert.
He's kicked 35 goals this year, Tarrant. Gee, Dimartina's been able to slip Rashudo a few times and get forward. It was a lovely kick. Tarrant going for a second goal. I think he's missed it. Remember the last time Tarrant was here, he did a Jarman. He kicked certainly 4, maybe 5 goals in a second quarter. In fact, it was 4 in the second quarter and 5 in the first half against Port Adelaide, but not tonight. So a miss set at Collingwood, 9-8 to 10-5.
Well, I think your stats about Collingwood being big in the second term, Adelaide Crows would have been very happy, I think, going in at half-time, having controlled the Pies' surge in that second quarter. Johnson, who was very good for Adelaide in the second term, then kicked the ball to Rashudo. He's not happy with the umpire there, and perhaps feeling as if he should have been awarded a 50-metre penalty. And looking down the ground now, decides to go long, kicks it high towards half forward. The crummers at the front of the pack there were Byrne and Kane Johnson. Neither could control the footy. As we check Simon Prestigiacomo, Brodie Holland, Damien Atkins on the bench, and I think the other one might be Ben Johnson warming the bench at the start of the second half for the Collingwood side. Up over the top was Steinford. Couldn't get an effective tap to it. McKee coughed it up basically. Byrne, Goodwin, gathered by Lacuria, trying to just squeeze something there to the advantage of Andrew Dimartina. Not forthcoming. And there we have James Gallagher, David Gallagher. And is that Stengline on the far side?
No, Hayden Skipworth.
Hayden Skipworth and Evan Hewitt. Yep. So the ball thrown in on centre wing. The ruck contest favours McLeod. Looks to get past Fraser. Gets it to Marsh. Marsh across the ground now. Ben Hart. Little kick is all right. Gee, they've set this up nicely. Chance now for Shirley. Shirley's kick into the middle. Goes past both the Crows players and tidied up by Lockyer. Good kick too, wasn't it? Off the left onto the chest of Leon Davis. Could go into the middle maybe for Dimartina. Goes for the taller player in Fraser. Away from Byrne. Fraser has the football. He's too far out to score. Could have gone to Lockyer. Then goes directly towards the full forward area. The defensive punch went to the feet of McKee, and McKee has kicked a lovely left foot goal for the Pies.
Well, he's done it again. There's no doubt two goals just drifting forward there into the forward line. He's a tough player to match up on. Josh Fraser involved in this too. Sees the leading Tarrant, but Ben Hart again does well. But this is a big ruckman here, getting down low, taking it cleanly, bending it across his body. No drama at all. Very important player, because when he plays in the ruck, it allows the Pies to use Fraser across that half-forward line. A very smart player, Josh Fraser, but Steve McKee's got to do the job at the centre bounces and around the ground.
So a couple of goals to McKee. Collingwood back in front. No one really winning it. Lacuria takes Johnson on. It was a good tackle, and it'll be a ball up. So some of the matchups: Edwards, Bathiris, Jarman, Clement, and Bickley with Leon Davis. Bickley did a great job on Brodie Holland in the opening term, and then Mickey Moldhouse has gone with some pace against him. He's held up pretty well, Bickley. Steinford, and then Marsh building forward, only to Lockyer, to Buckley. So McLeod and Buckley close together there. O'Brien's had a quiet one, just 5 kicks in the opening half. He ran out of play, surely. He's holding the ball.
Yeah, that's how fun. He's out of bounds. Tackles.
50 metres. He's up.
Discipline.
So Johnson will come inside 50 and have a shot for goal here.
6-1 on, he gets replaced.
So the problem is, he's out of bounds when he's tackled. So he obviously doesn't try and get rid of the ball because he's out of bounds. The umpire calls it holding the ball.
Graham, when you were coaching, you'd whip him off, wouldn't you? I mean, it's a tight game. 3 points. They've just got the lead back, and you do something silly like that.
Well, he did throw it back on the full, rather savagely, but.
So Johnson from 55 and O'Brien gets a let off. That's a shocking kick.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Mick Malthouse handles it. The runner hasn't gone out to him yet.
He hasn't had much luck with the boundary line tonight, O'Brien. Remember on the far side? Yeah. Lane, the target, was a good kick. Haven't seen much of Tyson Lane. He's been playing down back. Just a fourth kick coming up for him.
Yes, he's been on Peter Vardy, though, so Peter Vardy probably hasn't. Well, he's had 7 kicks and kicked 1 goal too,
So Lane doing a stopping roll, kicks out wide to Lockyer, Byrne with him. Malloy's kick back, well, if he attempted that to Buckley, it was brilliant, but Buckley's kick out on the full. No, it was a touch, I think. Touch, so on the way through, so a boundary throw in. Collingwood by 3 points.
Buckley credited with a further kick, 13 kicks and 6 handballs.
i7sport.com.au. Log on tonight at the end of this game, and you'll get the ladder after the 4 matches today and tonight.
10-8 to 10-5, Collingwood lead. They kicked the only goal so far in this third term through McKee. Lacuria gathers, gets the ball to Dimatina. Hand pass was intercepted, but they were able to get it back again. Nigel Smart chips in for the Crows and runs straight past the Steinford attempted tackle. Nigel Smart kicks the ball towards half forward, and a very, very tight couple of people there in Vardy and Perry, just stopping Tyson Lane in his tracks.
it was vital for Nigel Smart. He was 3-1 outnumbered there. Got a hand to it, controlled the ball and just weaved his way through them. Bit of work on the ground here. Tyson Lane feels Ian Perry's right hand on his head.
At the fall of the ball is McLeod, forced to kick with his left, gets pretty good distance to the square. Clement not able to take the mark, gets to his feet. He's assisted down there by Freeborn, still kept alive by Adelaide. Edwards has the ball, tackled by Wakeland was all right. Shane Wakeland asking why wasn't I rewarded with a free kick, but the boundary umpire will throw it in about 35 metres around from the Adelaide goal.
Well, consistency says he should, of course. There was not much difference between that and O'Brien's situation a few minutes ago.
McKee and, Coinsy McKee, and also Clark Lockyer, terrific, and he'll get it back, and he's away. Kicks out wide to Davis. Bickley brings him to the ground. He's quickly back. Davis off in a hurry, keeps it down low to Malloy. Good take by Malloy. Lovely handball to Lacuria. Lacuria's kick not all that good. Shirley, important, he should get a free kick. It'll come back to Shirley. He was manhandled. I was going to say important that he didn't fall over because the pressure was coming.
Tarrant could have probably done a little better there to keep it alive. Right in front of their goal, it's very much a hot spot for the defenders.
So Shirley wants Clark. That's the contest. Can he get it that far? He doesn't. Tarrant to Dimatina. Bangs it back to full forward. Nick Davis, good mark. He's just got a height advantage off Shirley.
This is not a good matchup for the Crows, as well as Robert Shirley has done. Nick Davis is an emerging young player. His balance and his athleticism sets him apart from the average footballer.
Shirley's kick just didn't get to the Clark contest, did it? He just didn't quite get enough on it. So
not sure whether Matthew Clark couldn't have actually got there.
Yep, so maybe the fault's in the leader as much as the kicker. Nick Davis, quiet night. He had a hamstring last week. He's had a terrific season, particularly the last month. He's a beautiful kick for goal. And Collingwood have started well here. 2 second-half goals. Well, I don't say they've caught the Crows cold because Adelaide have got it forward a couple of times, but suddenly they've put a goal and a half on the Crows.
They've just looked the better side. It's about 9 or 10 minutes gone of this first half. Collingwood seem to have had the better of it, but they just haven't hurt Adelaide on the scoreboard all that much.
Byrne, while that was happening, Graham Byrne has come off and James Gallagher is back on. Two goals to Collingwood in the early minutes of the third quarter. The scoreboard now shows the Magpies 11-8-74, leading Adelaide 10-5-65. The centre bounces are also critical. The clearances. Kane Johnson. Goodwin gets his left foot to it. Out wide. Now the pressure on the Collingwood defence. Vardy gathers. Goes for his second goal. Kicks it long into the pocket. Away from Darren Jarman. The ball bounces. And over for a boundary throw in.
I think it's important up there that Darren Jarman's finding himself with a stronger body opponent.
And somebody who's got some pace too.
Well, it all just gets back to what the pressure is being applied around the middle of the ground. If the ball comes down ordinarily, it's a struggle, even though you are a good player and you may have kicked 6 goals in the first half. Ooh. Oh, gee whiz, McKee was indiscriminate there. He was lucky not to be penalised. Now, Licuria. Oh, he does very nicely. Thank you very much, Paul Licuria. Kicks close to the line. Malloy, well done, Jared Malloy. Pretty desperate stuff, but, gee, this was ordinary by McKee.
Gee, what is kicking in danger? Do you have to make contact with the ball to get kicking in danger free kick awarded? I don't think you do.
Boundary throw in. Right half forward for Adelaide. The ball spills to the back. Malloy's hand pass was good, wasn't it, to McKee? And McKee, a terrific kick. Down the line with no one to kick to. He gathers about 40 metres for his team and forces a boundary throw in at left half forward for the Magpies. Collingwood 11-8-74. They lead by 9 points. Adelaide 10-5-65. Adelaide had the lead at half-time by 4 points.
Collingwood just in attack. They're doing well here. At the back, Davis, Buckley, he'll have some space, goes wide. He's looking for Tarrant, who's been held up by Hart. Hart's having a very good night. He was brilliant a couple of weeks ago against Geelong. He's had a couple of bad games since, but geez, been good tonight. On the burst, Gallagher. Started on the interchange in this quarter. Good kick to Vardy. Front spot. Probably should have held the mark in the end. He'll take Wakelin on. Handball back to Perry. Perry's kick inside. I like it for Goodwin. And Goodwin can stop and take a shot.
What about Perry's kick for a big bloke?
Great take, wasn't it?
Oh, it was terrific stuff.
It's the hardest ball. Well, not quite. The hardest ball to take is the one running away from you at that level, but it came at him so quickly. He was able to get his hands behind it, take it on the half volley and just shot it forward to Simon Goodwin, who's running strongly and is a beautiful kick.
Buckley probably should have done more with his kick going to Tarrant a moment ago. Goodwin's had 12 kicks, 3 handballs. It's a tough kick for a left footer. He is a good kick for goal, Goodwin. Wouldn't count him out from here. 45 metres out. He hasn't goaled though. Across the face, Jarman the fly. Clement belts to the line. Boundary throw in. So Adelaide just having problems here. They haven't scored in 13 minutes. A goal, that is. In fact, anything. They're on 10-5.
Well, I hope they didn't think at half-time it was all done.
Oh, I doubt it. Clark, McKee. Clark and McKee again. McKee, well done. Stengline. Kane Johnson. Little gift to McLeod. Can he do it, Buckley? Well, this is a bit harder than Buckley's kick. The kick's a good one to Stevens. A terrific mark. Jim McLeod's kick was team-orientated.
That's exactly right, Bruce. Just watch. Here we go. He just hooks it to the top of the square. That's all you have to do. And Mark Stevens, with the superior strength over young Ryan Loney, just a kid, holds his ground, and the kick was going to his side. It was perfectly weighted.
Stevens gets his goal, his first. And they get one back. May have done the Crows a favour to push him forward. Remember against the Bulldogs a couple of weeks ago, he kicked 3 goals late in the game. He could be a damaging forward, Stevens.
Well, he is, particularly with this matchup, because Ryan Loney is a half-back flanker. He's not a true centre-half back. And Mark Stevens can genuinely play centre-half forward or full forward. So with those 2 tall players in Rocker and Richardson missing, Nick Malthouse is definitely limited with his options.
So back at Football Park, Adelaide have kicked their 11th goal. Leon Davis on his own. Gee, there's a bit of confusion back there in defence for the Adelaide Crows. They better not let this ball get into the forward line for the Magpies. And it won't, because Tyson Edwards will kick it efficiently with the left. Onto the chest there of James Gallagher. Gets around onto his right. Kicks it beautifully, doesn't he? But the mark not taken there by Kane Johnson. Gathered by Rashudo. In trouble there is Clark. Just looked a little cumbersome. Tried to flick it back between his legs to the advantage of a teammate. Not successful, so the umpire will call for a bounce. 3 points is the margin in favour of the Magpies.
We have a game
been pretty tight for most of the match. Collingwood led by 7 points at quarter time. They got out to about a 19-point advantage during the second term. Now the ball spills to the back. Gee, Marsh should have really taken that. Fraser's kick is good. And Tarrant in front of Ben Hart, or the kick was to the advantage of Tarrant, and his kick in towards full forward. Gee, terrific contest there. Nick Davis and two Adelaide boys. One of them might have been Bickley. He looks as if he's in a bit of strife behind play. Kick back there by Marsh, and the mark is taken by Perry.
That was sensational work by Mark Bickley. Nick Davis was going to mark that ball. Mark Bickley just got back with absolute courage. Took an Adelaide player, I think it's Robert Shirley. He's slowly getting to his feet, but it was a certain mark saved.
Punched away by Loney, gathered by Rasciuto. Vardy's handball. The tackle on Peter Vardy was indiscriminate, and the free kick will be taken by Peter Vardy at right half forward. He again kicks to the area to which McLeod went to. The kick goes, it lands at half forward, kicked away by Freeborn. Now the race is on between Clement and Jarman. Well done by James Clement. Little touch there to Loney's advantage. He to Glenn Freeborn. Freeborn would relish this, not having to defend on Darren Jarman. He's run down and he's going to be penalised.
See, he's in the act of kicking. It's hardly an effective tackle. That's a deplorable decision or an interpretation.
Well, the hand pass from Stengline went to Hart. Hart's kick towards half forward, and the mark is taken by Vardy. Looming as a threat for the Magpies, Peter Vardy. Kicks in towards the forward pocket area. Terrific play there by Clement, punching the ball away from Darren Jarman. And he looks very, very comfortable back there at the moment.
39,010. Do you reckon Mick Moldhouse is thinking, gee, if I put Clement on him halfway through the second quarter, it's a good match-up, Clement on him, isn't it?
It looks pretty special at the moment. Adelaide have kicked 1 goal in this term. The Magpies have added 2.
So tight, isn't it? McLeod building forward. Rasciuto. Good effort. And he had a bit on it. Just missing in the end. Gee, was good play by Rasciuto there.
Well, it was an in-swinger. Now, here's the chase and tackle on Brent Freeborn. He's got it. See, it's not a tackle, it's a push. That is a disgraceful decision. There's no tackle.
No retardation at all, was there?
Edwards chasing Steinfort, can't get him, so let's see how far Collingwood can go with this kick. Kick down the line to Lockyer. Gallagher giving a free kick away, so we'll come back to Lockyer.
So why are umpires so obsessed with when a player does a bit of a run and is chased behind? He's only got to be touched and he's free kicked. Can't work that one out.
We've seen a few when they've actually been in active kicking. Last week, Andrew Mackay actually got his foot to the boot. Boot to the ball as he was being tackled, and they called him.
Tarrant off the ground to full forward. Perry's worked down deep, but he's overrun it. Made a dreadful error by falling over. Wakeland kicks back to the front of the square. Collingwood have got some numbers. Smart got in late. Goodwin, Tarrant, Buckley's there. Kane Johnson, Leon Davis. I think it's a goal. He's got
touch.
it.
They're saying touched.
It's a goal.
They're saying
it's
touched.
It's a goal. A goal to Leon Davis.
You are right, Bruce. It's a goal, but they're saying touched.
I know what you're saying. I know what they're saying, but I know what it is.
Just watch it again. What's better? Here we go. Great tackle. Ben Hart. Well, not much of a deflection.
It's
Ben
a goal.
Hart's.
Great goal.
Well, he's done exactly what the coach would have asked of him, Leon Davis, hasn't he? 2 crumbing goals in the full forward line. Ben Hart appealing there, and I would think that Ben Hart would be a pretty honest young fellow. So maybe the Crows not favoured there by the umpire at the area where the ball came from.
Rob, I reckon that's the ultimate test, though, saying that you did touch it. That's the ultimate test of the honesty.
Well, Buckley's tackle there was quite efficient. I think that's James Gallagher at the bottom there of the pack with the football. Buckley locking him up. The umpire will have to do it all over once again.
The ultimate test would be for Leon Davis to say he touched it, Bruce. That is the ultimate test of honesty.
12-8 to 11-6. The lead for the Magpies is 8 points. We're 2/3 the way through this second term. Clark takes the ball out of the air, then kicks it towards half forward. Wakeland doing pretty well for the Magpies across half-back. Desperate play there by Stevens. Little tap there by Perry, but really to the advantage of Loney. He out wide, O'Brien and Stengline, and Stengline takes it over for a throw-in.
Yes.
O'Brien only 6 touches, and he really is a much more statistically effective player. Stengline playing on him has had 14 possessions. Buckley, not really an effective kick. O'Brien tackled, and the ball eventually will be thrown in at right half forward for Adelaide. 11-6 plays 12-8. 8 points the lead for Collingwood, and 6 minutes are left in the third term.
Clark front spot. Johnson can't get through. I think he's won a free kick.
Oh, yeah.
For a push. McLeod having a go here with Lucuria. Not the first time, by the way. They shaped up earlier in the first half. You reckon they both go a bit, don't you?
Well, I'd have my money on Andy McLeod. Well, I don't know what Paul can do, but Andy McLeod can.
Johnson's kick to Jarman and Clement. At the front, Bathiris, still Bathiris, ridden into the ground. G. Edwards did well, hooks back, Collingwood with the numbers. Lockyer to take it away in the back pocket. Collingwood holding up well.
Gee, that's a great kick. Tarkin Lockyer, his disposal. Ben Marsh was right alongside Fraser then. It had to be spot on, and it was.
Evan Hewitt gets his first run, Cornsey. It's out on the full. Evan Hewitt's on for Perry.
Yeah, Perry's just struggling a little bit this quarter. Evan Hewitt is fresh, he's tall, he'll certainly be keen. Adelaide shouldn't lose anything with this one.
So Gallagher to take it. Clement's done a terrific job on Jarman in this quarter. Gallagher's kick still toward the pocket, and Vardy in the end allowing Lane to leap and bang it over the line.
Any preferred end at this ground when you get a night like this where there's hardly any breeze?
Oh, look, I prefer the northern end. There's no breeze at all.
Which is the left of screen.
It's the left of screen. It's, but
G. McKee
doesn't matter.
too easily to Lockyer, to Lucuria.
How far?
Lucuria with a bit of fancy footy and an interesting kick to Malloy. Wakeland's pace impressive here, but he overran it. Malloy, brilliantly picked up. Terrific stuff. Lovely kick to Tarrant. Wonderful football. Goal.
Oh, that's magnificent.
How good was Jared Malloy in all of that?
You won't see better football than this.
No,
you just
agree.
won't. Shane Wakeland's pace to get to the contest. He didn't take it clean. He just toe poked it out, and it fell for Jared Malloy. Wakeland does well. Doesn't actually control it, but watch the pickup. 1, 2. Is that a throw? No. Play on.
And then the kick was good, wasn't it?
Just great footy.
That's what you come to the footy to see. The skill and the big man gathering down low at ground level and then kicking the ball to the advantage of his teammate. Well, Chris Tarrant has now got 2 goals. He hasn't had much of the football because Ben Hart has been a close checking defender on Chris Tarrant. But importantly for Collingwood, they now creep out to a 14-point advantage. They are 13-8-86. Adelaide are 11-6-72. The bounce, McKee, taken by Goodwin for Adelaide. Kicks it forward. Good mark taken by Vardy. Good hands. Handballs it off. Kick forward by Rashudo. The goal square is unattended. It'll bounce through for a behind. No luck for the Crows there. The second time that Rashudo has bounced one through from a flying shot at goal. He's kicked a couple of behinds in this term, Mark Rashudo.
At least Adelaide's entry into their forward line this week have been so much more direct and down through a centre corridor.
The kick in is effective. It's been marked by Lucuria. Buckley making position. This is an important kick from Paul Lucuria. And well done by Goodwin. Punched the ball away from the Collingwood skipper and forces a boundary throw in.
And Gary Ayre says, that's what I mean.
A second kick, but unfortunately the second kick is on the wing.
Well, the ball to be thrown in right on centre wing. Collingwood leading by 13 points. Marsh on this occasion doing the ruck work. Kick forward there by David Gallagher. Well gathered, well it nearly was, there by Hewitt. It is by Johnson. Hewitt gets to his feet and goes after it. Tackled by Wakeland. Ball spills for David Gallagher once again. He can't control it, and it'll be thrown in at right half forward for the Crows. They badly need a goal, don't they? Their surge in the second term where they kicked 7 goals, they've only kicked 1 goal, and the quarter has only 4 minutes to run. So it's dried up a bit for Adelaide in this term. Chance there for Stengline, throws it onto his boot, and rather errant kick. It was touched off the boot, was it? So the field umpire is indicating just that. The players are feeling that it will be a kick to be taken by Loney, but that will not happen. It will be thrown in by the boundary umpire.
Ben Hart says, where were you at the other end?
So the boundary throw in, McKee and Clark. Clark over the back. Buckley's read it best. Collingwood away. Kick to Lockyer. Gallagher to go with him. Important ball here. Lockyer's got 2 to beat, but he's got the run of the footy and he's got a lot of pace. And he goes straight to the line and finds him.
Ben Marsh appealed for a deliberate out of bounds. I probably think that was the intention.
Played a fair game, Lockyer, 17 possessions and has kicked a goal.
He's been good. He goes at it hard. He just uses the ball beautifully. He's tremendous to watch, actually. But James Gallagher, his opponent, has also been very good. For some reason, he started this quarter on the bench.
O'Brien off, so Stengline's done the job. Now Lockyer's got himself free here, about 30 metres in front of the ball, and here he is. So Bickley has to go, and he does courageously. Adelaide desperate for the next goal. Gallagher brilliantly to Smart, in trouble. Just gets around Davis. Davis probably should have put a tackle on him. Bangs it high. Poor kick to centre half forward. Nobody really with a chance there. Jarman puts a tackle on. Adelaide trying to get it out. McLeod. Gee, Lucuria has done a job on McLeod. He's held him up well tonight.
How good was Mark Bickley?
Yep, brilliant.
Lockyer, you called it. He was 30 metres in the clear. The ball came to him, but Bickley somehow, here he is, just made the contest. Hurt him too.
Rare courage he's got, hasn't he? I mean, he's always had that, Bickley. Clark did well. Here's McLeod. Can he break through? He can. And kicks the goal. Just as I was saying, Lucuria's done a job on him. McLeod rode the tackle basically. Come with me, he said.
We just watch this. This is the sign of sheer class. He takes the ball out, grappling at him. They've got hold of him. He just drags him along. Watch this. He's holding him, drags him along. I'll still have a shot for goal. Don't worry about that.
Well, it really was another excellent passage of play by one of the more skillful players in this competition, Andrew McLeod. He kicks his first goal, and Adelaide get their 12th. The margin is back to 7 points. Collingwood lead 86-79, and we've got 3 minutes left in the turn. Nigel Smart, an important touch. Malloy to Johnson, back to Buckley. Buckley very much setting the play up. Goes towards the middle. Steinford is on his own. Steinford kicks towards full forward. A marking contest. Tarrant and Shirley. It was Tyson Lane actually and Shirley. The kick comes back towards the middle of the ground. Buckley falls over. Goodwin's little toe poke to his own advantage. Gathered by McLeod. Malloy probably should have grabbed him. McLeod bounced off him and then kicked the ball wide to Johnson. Johnson to straighten up. Kicks in towards half forward. Jarman. He's only had one semblance of a chance in this term. And he's grabbed it. He's marked within scoring range, and he will go for goal number 7.
Oh, I know we throw superlatives around all the time, but the work of Andrew McLeod, which we didn't see in the build-up there, to take the ball, bounce off the tackling player, get the ball to Kane Johnson,
and Johnson to straighten up and not to go to the pocket, to bring it back into the corridor.
Well, it's the thing they haven't been doing all year. When they've done it, it makes a big difference to their scoring.
Well, Darren Jarman kicks, and it just floats away to the right-hand side through for his second behind. Terrific build-up and promised plenty, but delivered only a behind. A goal, the difference, very similar to just close to half-time, where
trouble here.
Adelaide kicked a goal right on the siren to give them the lead. This is Clement. Short kick is all right. Marcus taken by Bathiris. Bathiris, excellent kick. Taken by Lockyer, looking to play on. Waitland, left foot kick by Shane Waitland towards full forward. No mark, so the Crows are advantaged here. Bickley to Smart. Smart kicks it high in the air. 1 minute left, so the Magpies really have to get hold of this football, but they won't. It's Evan Hewitt, kicks it short. Marsh has taken the mark, he can play on. He can go directly in the area of Jarman and Clement. Clement from behind. A very disciplined performance so far in this turn by James Clement. Gathered by Vardy. Held didn't have the ball. Vardy will take the free kick. Loney, the culprit for the Magpies. Burn back on and Stengline to have a spell close to three-quarter time.
It's unfortunate. The young kid didn't see that he got rid of the ball. He laid the tackle, put the head in close to the body, which you have to do. Held on grimly, but you have to have an awareness that the ball has gone too.
Vardy too far out to score. Kicks the ball all the way to the goal line. It will be helped over, you would think. It is, for a rush behind to the Crows. So 5 points now. The difference between these two teams are right on the three-quarter time break. Just seconds left in the term as we watch the huddle again. Only 35, 40 metres from the Adelaide goal. Buckley has the football. Just perhaps encouraging Jarman to come to him. Then kicks it nicely. He didn't have much margin there, but he got it to Ben Johnson. Johnson, you can see the line there. That's the forward 50-metre line for Adelaide.
Actually, surprisingly, with Nathan Buckley as the player kicking off, they haven't heard Adelaide a lot more on that kick-off.
So Ben Johnson's kick was just the last right, so to speak, for the third term. And at three-quarter time, after Adelaide led by 4 points at half-time, Collingwood lead by 5 points at three-quarter time. Collingwood 13-8, 86. Lead Adelaide 12-9, 81.
And the stage is set, there's no doubt about it. We have seen a magnificent exhibition of Australian rules footy. Just when you thought the game was not the same as it used to be, something like this comes up. Just what a quarter we have coming up.
Yeah.
Very hard to do it, Bruce, and you sense with the home crowd, there's 40,000 people who the majority are Crows fans, and they've had the centre clearances, the Crows, and they can just, when they've been into the 50 probably as many times as Collingwood, they can just straighten up with this crowd behind them. You would fancy them, but don't underestimate the Pies.
They're a fighting team. Clark wins the first tap. Goodwin, who's done a superb job on Buckley. They both had a lot of the ball up.
O'Brien is off, incidentally, too. O'Brien, Davis and young Loney has been...
Rashudo's hooked out to the half-forward flank on his own, and they've had to pull Dimartina out now to get back.
He just effected a fantastic tackle there on Goodwin to lock him up.
So McKee and Clark, and Buckley's done a lot of this ruck work. Here's McLeod. Can he get hold of it? Terrific tackle, Batheris took him down. Lucuria to Johnson. Squeezy kick, important play. Bickley held up very well, then kicks back to half forward. Good stuff, Freeborn. Free kick.
In the back.
Free kick.
Well, it was a nudge to him, but he looked more to just hold his ground rather than push.
Gallagher to give it up. That's David Gallagher. Rashuto to Johnson. I think he's got it. No, Johnson doesn't take the mark. And then holds on to Steinford, who just didn't want the footy, just shepherded cleverly for Batheris. He's got a cool head, Batheris. He'll need it. He's got Lockyer wide. Can Jarman come? Oh, he does. All was on. You can see it coming. And Jarman seized it.
There's a golden rule in football. If you're going to kick across goals, kick the ball too hard, kick it too far. He's going for target Lockyer, trying to pinpoint him.
Second biggest kick of the match so far. Probably the one at half-time was the biggest because of the momentum it gave him.
James Gallagher off and Byrne back on for the Crows.
This is just huge. Jarman missed in the third quarter. I don't think he's going to get many chances in the last. Can he kick a seventh? It's coming back. It's coming back. I think he's missed. It was close. He's kicked 6-3.
There's a lot happening in the goal scorer between these players at the moment.
Now, Graham, just on the three-quarter time break, you mentioned that you would prefer to see the more cooler Michael Malthouse attitude rather than the emotion of Gary Ayres.
Perhaps a cool, controlled recovery, then a refocus rather than the blatant emotion. But let's see, it might work for Adelaide.
Well, Clement it was that came with the football all the way down the ground. Nigel Smart, he's run down by Malloy. Oh, gee, it was rugged, wasn't it? The D9 just went crashing through, and the kick forward has been well marked by Shirley.
Yes.
Handball back to Bickley, and a pretty cool customer, Mark Bickley. But he kicks to a one-on-one out there at half forward. Johnson and Stengline. In there is McKee. Stengline over the boundary line with the football, and it'll be thrown in at left half forward for the Magpies. Bassett, Skipworths, yet to have a run. James Gallagher and Perry on the bench. Left half forward for Collingwood. Kick by Shirley, high in the air, into the middle. No mark, but the crumbs nearly gathered by Steinfort. Bathiris was pretty good. His second effort was excellent. Buckley tries the big talk to the goal square. Chance here for Collingwood. If Tarrant can get a boot on it, he tries to flip it to Davis's advantage. Nigel Smart doesn't waste any time and kicks it off the ground further away from the Collingwood goal than the 50-metre line. 55 to 60 metres away from the Magpie goal now for a boundary throw-in.
A couple of the critical matchups here, Andrew McLeod and Paul Lecuro. Can he break through of Lecuro? Goodwin and Buckley, Kane Johnson and Carl Steinfort. That's been a good tassel too.
Collingwood lead by 4 points. The ball back to the middle. It's overrun by Waitland and Evan Hewitt, gathered by Buckley. Buckley's kicking towards full forward. Malloy up against Nigel Smart. Kane Johnson to help out. Just threaded his way through there beautifully. Then kicked, and Buckley, he's got a... That is just absolute courage personified. He knew he was going to get cracked. Stood his ground, the captain, and led from the front. Hewitt up over the top.
Great mark, that one.
Terrific, wasn't it, Curls? You're right down there.
Yeah,
close
he knew
to that.
He knew it was coming behind him.
And the kick is good too. Bathiris is marked further forward than centre wing. Close to half forward.
It's too wide though.
Tarrant provides the lead, but he goes into the pocket. Good mark taken by Vardy. Hand pass. Rashudo gathers. Rashudo's hand pass is all right. Vardy again. Little kick okay. This boy has been pretty good since half-time. Kane Johnson runs away from the centre wing area. Delivers to Bickley. Bickley a bit of an up and under towards half forward. The spillage at the ground level. Jarman, little kick by Waitland was ever so important. Gathered by Clement. Clement across the full-back line. Collingwood have the numbers here. Can they get onto it? Not quite. And it's taken over by Tyson Lane. The presence provided by Ben Hart, and it'll be thrown in at left half forward for Adelaide.
Davis off.
There's our internet site, i7sport.com.au. This is an absolute thriller.
Tyson Lane just struggling for his recovery then. He's had to chase Peter Vardy all the way down the goal from the other end of the ground. Just struggling a little bit with his fitness.
Goodwin to fall forward. Ball to be won. Clements read it well. Hewitt comes across courageously. Down low was Vardy, I think. Loney belts it out importantly. Johnson holds his ground. Should have got a free kick. Lecuro to the pocket and finds the line. Adelaide, you feel as if are now putting the pressure right on Collingwood.
They are throwing everything at Collingwood. Collingwood is standing firm at the moment. Can they continue to do so? How much pressure can they absorb?
Throw in, well done by Goodwin, but Johnson couldn't take it. Bathiris goes long. I think Stengline will take the mark. He does at half forward. He's been a wonderful player. Did the job on O'Brien tonight. Got rid of him. He's their #1 tagger. Decides to set it up at centre half forward. Can Hewitt impose himself? Stevens at the back. Mathiris did really well. Adelaide have got players around the ball. They just can't win it out. Vardy does. Hooks it. He had McLeod on short for a handball. McLeod, Lecuro. The ball bounces off Lecuro. Clement. Boundary throw in.
Perry getting ready to come back on for Hewitt.
Not bad. Not bad. Evan Hewitt hasn't quite been able to get into the game.
Crowd becoming quite vocal now.
Clark. Still Clark. Lecuro and McLeod. Back to Lane. Can't break the Jarman tackle in the end. Clement. It's so tight in there. Jarman's little left footer. Boundary throw in. Have a crack, Rob. It's pretty hard to get it out of there.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And I think Collingwood can feel that they desperately need to clear that full back line, because it's just going to be some sort of a kick squeezed out of a congested area, and it just might result in a snapshot goal. Overrunning the football there, all players, but Waitland, well tackled by Hewitt, gets the fist of the ball, back to the middle. Edwards, little toe poke, did it go far enough? Goodwin to Byrne. Byrne to Straighten. Kicks it in towards half forward. Mark. No, not taken. Gathered by Wakeland. Very good hand pass. The opportunity now for Lockyer to get the ball down to Atkins. Atkins looks to play on. Oh, shocking kick. Lost the plot completely there, Damien Atkins. The ball is under there somewhere, and the umpire's going to give the Crows the free kick. Edwards, the advantage to half forward. Jarman and Clement. Now the football with Mark Stevens. Hand pass. David Gallagher. Can he make a hero of himself? He hasn't had much ground time, and he misses to the left. First score for David Gallagher in this match. Gary Ayres, it's a hot seat now, isn't it? Not much you can do. You've got to rely very much on the disciplines of the players that are out there.
That holding the ball decision, though, like when you've got a game like this as closely balanced, a decision like that just has to be. The guy going for the ball has to be given the opportunity to take it.
Beautiful kick by Lockyer for Buckley. Buckley still very well entrenched into his defensive 50-metre area. And he looks to go in the direction of Prestigiacomo. It's got to be a good kick. It is. We've come to expect that, haven't we? Prestigiacomo is marked safely. Vardy is the Crows player in that vicinity. Spent a lot of time on the interchange bench, Simon Prestigiacomo. Just not able to get a suitable matchup. Kicks the ball to the wing. The mark is taken out there by Stevens. Doing pretty well. Player on his own. Jarman running inside 50. Goal square is unattended. Goal square is unattended. It's a goal. No. Just missed it.
Actually, Rob, it may not mean a great deal with the game, but that end has been the Crows' scoring end.
Jarman has kicked 6 goals for, and that opportunity just by centimetres goes begging. The score 12-12, 84 Adelaide. Collingwood 13-8, 86. Slender margin in favour of the Pies.
Torpedo punt. Interesting kick. Lane got hold of it, so Collingwood get away. We've had 10 minutes of footy and we've had 3 points scored. All to the Crows. Collingwood haven't scored. Adelaide have kicked 3 points. Edwards keeps it in. Still with Edwards. I think there's a free kick against Malloy down the ground and it'll go to Stevens. So Adelaide doing all the attacking here. Their problem, of course, if they don't score, the longer it goes on, the counter-attack from Collingwood.
Yeah, but I just think Adelaide have the measure at the moment. Collingwood need to find something.
Perry, Buckley, who's playing very deep, isn't he? And getting so much of the footy.
So the problem is Collingwood have come here undermanned. They've had a couple of very important players missing from their lineup. They've been able to counter pretty well and they lead Adelaide. But how long can they withstand it for? How long can they maintain the pressure? They've got to apply scoring board pressure in this last quarter to Adelaide. They haven't been into their 50.
Boundary throw in McLeod at the back. He still hasn't been able to really impose himself on this game.
In fact, inside 50s this quarter, Adelaide 8, Collingwood 3.
Well, there was a statistic in the Adelaide Advertiser this week about Adelaide's inside 50s compared with their opposition and their inefficiency this year, but you wouldn't blame it on that tonight. You'd blame it on the pressure of the moment. Clark did well, brought it back to the front, but the kick Wakeland, I liked his game tonight. I reckon he's been terrific.
Very solid.
He's looked very sharp. He's dispatched Perry and he's probably dispatched Evan Hewitt as well.
Further down the line over there wide, there's a player on offer. It might be Nick Davis, isn't it?
So he's got him.
And Nick Davis was told by the runner, Mick Gafer, to go forward. You could see as we broke there from that boundary throw-in, Mick Malthouse indicating that he wanted a player to go forward, and it was Nick Davis. That was Holland getting it back to Davis. Davis forced to kick high, lands the ball at half forward. Tarrant allows it to bounce, gathers, no, can't quite. Shirley, kick smothered off the boot. This will be a goal, won't it? Buckley. No, it's a beautiful kick though. And he found Lockyer right on the end of the square.
That was a beautiful kick. Well, he had the option. The goal square was open, so he could have placed it there, but he saw Tarkin Lockyer, who'd run forward off the wing. James Byrne just closing on him there. And this rebound is just what Collingwood needs to steady their ship, because Adelaide has thrown everything at them. They haven't been able to crack them. Collingwood have rebounded with a thrust of their own.
It is amazing, isn't it? I mean, the play has been very much on the Adelaide forward line. They haven't been able to kick a goal. Now it goes down for Collingwood once, and Tarkin Lockyer kicks a goal. Second goal for Tarkin Lockyer, and importantly for Collingwood, it is their 14th goal, and they lead by 8 points, 92 to 84.
Well, good work. You can see the team thing. There's Dimartinis, I think it was, actually affected the spoil from Robert Shirley. It came out ragged. Nathan Buckley got on the end of it, found himself with space, looked at the goal. He either went for the goal square to bounce it through or found Tarkin Lockyer by himself.
Just a bit of breathing space, isn't it, for Collingwood? If they can get the next goal, they'll make it really tough for the Crows in this low-scoring last quarter.
Lockyer's dropped back to a loose man in the forward area.
So Collingwood, their players are very adept at getting themselves into attacking positions, running people around. Vardy's done pretty well tonight. Johnson's handball was good. Goodwin, Vardy, left foot for goal. I like it. It's a goal. Beautiful football. They needed a quick reply. Could not afford Collingwood to get the next one. And Vardy, who's got better as this match has gone on, has had a big play right here.
Just watch the ball come out. It's pretty rugged, but Adelaide have got momentum running forward. It's a pretty savage handball, this one. But well taken, and the vision there to get it out to Peter Vardy, and his balance on his left foot was superb. Kane Johnson's handball released him.
Hey, Graham, just keeping it. Lucuria's dropped back into the full forward area. He's a try and drive McLeod, drag McLeod back.
Is it Lucuria or Davis?
It's Lucuria. Yep, Lucuria's on his own.
And McLeod is back closer to the centre contest.
He's not going to be drawn.
Away go the Crows again. Bickley, Goodwin, Johnson tackled by Holland. Could nearly get a free kick there. He will. Throwing the ball indicates the umpire in that area of the ground, and it will go to Collingwood to be taken by Brodie Holland.
Somebody ran him. It was Brodie Holland who made the chase, affected the tackle. You see he spun around and he just, well, illegal disposal of the ball. That's fair. Maybe a 50-metre penalty perhaps as well.
Could have nearly been.
Was going to be the sealer. I was about to say before the previous goal that next goal wins.
Well, the football with Steinfort.
Buckley clear. Buckley free.
And Buckley's got it.
In the wing now.
Buckley on centre wing. No one has left this ground. A crowd of nearly 40,000. The kick goes very short and well marked by Josh Fraser.
Brodie Holland by himself in the pocket.
That's the direction that he heads. And Holland has taken the mark. Short kick is all right.
Touched.
No mark to Bathiris. Can he get the hand pass back? He can't. Adelaide standing tall. No, found a free kick. Umpire didn't quite see what that was for. We might see a replay of that. It will go to Nick Davis.
Yeah, just the arm around the shoulder, but
it's actually Holland that's going to take the free kick.
He won't make the mistake of going short this time. But he wants to get it in quickly. Adelaide will get back. Clark's back there already. Ben Hart's directing traffic.
Too far out to score.
Stevens is back there. In fact, Adelaide...
Buckley's free. Buckley.
He's got it. Terrific mark, wasn't it?
Gee, because he wasn't free, but he made himself free.
This bloke's missed a month of footy, and yet he's running harder, working harder, covering more ground than any player on the ground.
31 possessions now, 25 kicks, 6 handballs. He's also very much the leading tackler for Collingwood with 7 tackles, and he's going for goal number 2. They lead by 2 points. Can the skipper kick a goal and create an 8-point margin for his team? The player on the mark is about 47 metres from goal. Buckley gets close, kicks long. It's a goal. Nathan Buckley, the skipper's goal. Magnificent kick again. Anyone who questions Nathan Buckley has got to have a real good hard look at themselves, in my opinion. Just a complete player.
Who would question him, Robert?
Oh, there's people out there that say he kicks the ball too hard. He doesn't go in and get the hard ball and rubbish like that. He's a terrific player, Nathan Buckley.
Tell you what, Robbo, you must talk to different blokes than I talk to. I've never heard it in my life. What a game he's played, Buckley. I thought McLeod might be the key to the last quarter. I think it might be Buckley.
Gee, he made something from nothing. The kick to him was good, but Buckley under all sorts of pressure, being able to rake that in. Look at the bounce. Look at that shocking bounce.
McKee had no advantage really though in the end. Rashudo to Bickley, forced to quickly get it onto the boot. It's play on. Wakeland's being very good. Adelaide need this quick goal like they got the last one. They may not get it. Bathiris, well played. Lane. Collingwood right now probably going like winners. Steinford out wide. Edwards. I'll take it all back. Edwards in the pocket. It's that sort of game, isn't it? The kick. No mark to Stevens. Good play at the back by Presti. And then a trip against Stevens. Free kick to Collingwood.
Gee, the Collingwood crowd would want to play onto advantage, surely.
So Steinford in the back pocket. It's hard to see Adelaide getting up here. I know there is time, but they need probably 3 goals to win, certainly 2. And you just wonder if they can find a way.
Well, it's possible, there's no doubt about it, particularly at Football Park with the emotion of the crowd behind them, but Collingwood have withstood everything that they've thrown at them. It's just a totally impressive performance by the Pies.
Goodwin ripped away from it. Well played by Freeborn. Buckley, wonderful football to Davis. Oh, McLeod, terrific run down. Tarrant, Hart's had a terrific game on him. That's kicking in danger. Well, it should be, I thought. Malloy brings it back. Was clever play. He got away with it. Davis to fall forward. Holland, no free kick. Bickley found a way out. Adelaide can't concede. They're on here. Edwards could go all the way. He's a fast runner. He should stretch to Martina. He wants to run a bit quicker than he is. He should keep going. Don't look back. He's got Johnson in the pocket. He goes to fall forward. It wasn't a great kick. Jarman couldn't take it. Adelaide may be in trouble here. The handball by Bird. If Collingwood get away with this, you reckon they might win the game?
Well, if they get away with that, they deserve to win the game. Their desperation there. The spoil from Clement. I didn't think the kick was that bad from Tyson Edwards to a leading Andrew Jarman. Just watch it. Just watch the effort of Clement to get the fist there. And then the desperation at ground level. James Byrne missed it in the first time, but back on it quickly.
Johnson away.
Johnson's left foot kick to a vacant area at half forward. Malloy and Smart. Smart maybe with just the added athleticism, and the kick along the ground, looking for the advantage there of Kane Johnson. Spills away from that player for a boundary throw-in.
How important was that round 5 experience with Collingwood when they were narrowly defeated by Essendon? Mick Malthouse praised the team in the close loss rather than castigated them.
Rashudo to Johnson. Johnson squeezes the kick towards the full forward area. Jarman, the tap was good, wasn't it? Edwards spins around. Tyson Edwards hits the goal and he's got it.
Somebody has to stand up. Tyson Edwards has stepped forward, there's no doubt about it. And there's some determination out there. I'm not going to die wondering with this game. There's a very clever tap on. I didn't quite see it was Perry. Jarman tapped it on. And Tyson Edwards in the right spot, the right time. What a game.
There's a lot of resolve in both these teams. Jarman's exquisite skills here to tap onto Edwards is really lifting. And Adelaide get within that kick. Suddenly they can find a way home at 96 to 98. It's been one of the matches of the season, hasn't it?
Not just because of the contest, the skills on display and the way the game's been played has been superb.
Stakes are pretty high here. Collingwood haven't been in the finals for 6 years. The Crows sort of have to win, you reckon, to have a chance.
Great marking in Perry.
It's a lovely kick by McLeod and probably a better mark by Perry. Adelaide have had most of the play in the last quarter. Collingwood have been able to counter-attack very effectively. Gallagher, that's David Gallagher. And the handball goes nowhere.
Just needed a quick reflex handball.
Just missed the shot for goal, didn't he, in that last quarter? Edwards has had 6 kicks in the last term. Bickley's had 7. So Collingwood by 2 points in an absolute thriller. They beat Port here earlier this year in a fantastic finish. Buckley's kick. Marsh should mark it. He does. Awkward kick. Important play. Back to Marsh. They ask him to kick it long. He does for the goal square. It's vacant. It won't be anything, I don't think. It's out of play.
Yeah, Nathan Buckley's kick then, it was a hurried screw punt, and it just went to the wrong side of the contest with Fraser. You wouldn't ever be critical of Nathan Buckley's kicking, but You want to give your teammate down the ground a better chance of marking it than your opponent who went to
There's one of those blokes that criticised Nathan Buckley. Bruce sitting right beside us.
I'm not criticising the kick.
No, only kidding, Graham, only kidding, don't worry. The contest in the left forward pocket for Adelaide results in nothing really. Mark Rasciuto gathers and takes it over 50 metres from the Adelaide goal.
Does everybody want to know how much time is left?
Well, it's exciting and it'll go all the way down, you would think. Collingwood by 2 points.
4 minutes at least.
Not much left in this game, and the Crows trying to scramble a goal. McKee gets it down to Licuria. Licuria, an important possession. Lockyer maybe just lost the ball in the air there, Tarkin Lockyer, and he's disappointed with his the little result there.
James Byrne did well though. He slipped, he lost his footing, but was able to get back up and make the spoil. Lockyer would have marked it and would have been away.
Boundary throw in on centre wing. Favours Clark, dispossessed. Buckley quickly onto his boot. And it's amazing, isn't it? Even that kick there. There was no one really that he meant the kick for, but he's found the safety of the boundary line with his 29th kick. 2 goals, 7 tackles, 7 marks, 6 handballs. A complete game by Nathan Buckley. Have a look at the Brownlow medal votes and you would have to say that right now Nathan Buckley would get 3 votes. He's up over the top doing the ruck work now. That's a very effective possession. The ball at half forward, Davis and David Gallagher, and Tarrant grabs the jumper of the Crows player.
Gee, Robbo, that Nathan Buckley, he's running on empty, but he's still going full ball.
Big heart, hasn't he?
Incredible.
Yeah, terrific performance by Nathan Buckley.
I think you can say one man is going to win this game for Collingwood if they win it.
Well, there were a chance here. Licuria out wide. Davis trying to kick the goal of the night. It was touched off the boot. Freeborn, still Glenn Freeborn, gives away meterage, and Davis has marked 50 metres from goal.
Well, he's clever, Glenn Freeborn. There's no doubt about that. He had nowhere to go. The ball was smothered by David Gallagher. Unfortunately, they went to Glenn Freeborn. He was surrounded by Crows players. Still managed to get the ball back to Nick Davis.
Collingwood by 2 points. Davis goes for goal. He kicks it all the way to the square and helped over the line by the tall players there. Probably Marsh getting his hands on it, forcing it through for a rush behind. So the Crows will have possession of the ball, albeit from a kick-in with Ben Hart, and Collingwood lead by 3 points.
And their screen has not worked all that effectively this night.
But they've got a chance here. Fraser, Clark, no, the Crows could win it. Byrne, he needs a clean takeaway. He does. The handball's good to Stengler. McLeod stretches them, goes to full forward to Jarman. It's a great kick. He can't affect the mark. Wonderful play, Clement, and beautifully read Di Martina. Collingwood supreme. That was wonderful defence by the Maggies. Waitman's in trouble. He gets around somehow in a good smother. But McLeod's kick, I thought, was going to be perfect to Jarman.
It was perfect, Dad. Darren just couldn't take it with the one grab. And when he went to second grab it, the Collingwood defender had cut across him.
In a little bit of trouble there, Shane Wakelin, just favouring a leg maybe.
He was almost legged there. It looked as though the Crows player grabbed him by the ankle.
What an important ruck clearance here.
Oh.
Good one. And again a ball up. Gee, there's been some good players out there tonight. Buckley obviously the one. Saw Michael Voss play a game and a half last night. Buckley's equal to it tonight in a much more tense contest.
Yeah, it's much harder to get kicks.
So Adelaide attacking as they've done for most of the last quarter, but they still trail. McLeod tried to flip it back. The ball comes to McKee quickly off the ground. No fancy stuff here. Gallagher attacked it. Needs the handball to Edwards. He's clever, Edwards, normally. He's 60 metres out. Good kick. Oh. Beautiful kick, Edwards. That was very, very clever to Perry. And we saw Perry kick a great goal earlier tonight. Has he had a more important kick in his short career for the Crows?
Well, he's started well, but he had a rest on the bench for a couple of quarters. He's come back on fresh. Fatigue will not be a problem here. He's on his left leg.
Tough little left footer in the country from there.
We have the new stand to his left, which protects him from any breeze like there is. You sense it'll go from left to right. But this is what makes good players. A minute and a half to go. Your team's down by 3 points, and you've got a chance to put them in front.
Can he do it?
Oh,
Gee, it was a big build-up, Cornsey.
Now, this is where we need Adelaide's one-on-one on their kickoffs to work. If ever it's going to work, if ever Gary Ayres needs to have confidence in his team system, Nathan Buckley with the ball.
The right man's got the ball for Collingwood.
Nick Davis is a certainty here too.
It's exactly right, girls. Buckley.
But where will the second kick go?
Back to Buckley. He'll run down and get it again.
No, they've held it up.
Well, not much to go, is there? You can see the clock. Every contest vital. Edwards just couldn't quite hold it. Freeborn onto him. Ball comes out. Buckley again. Oh, what a game by Buckley. Kicks to Malloy. Smart. Out of play, but Collingwood have got it where they need it.
They certainly have. It was a great kick. Great work. Nigel Smart's done a fantastic job on Malloy. Malloy has played well.
No, you're spot on there.
Nigel Smart has been right with him.
And Ben Hart on Tarrant too. The belt away. McLeod, Lucuria out of play.
They just have to get hold of the ball, don't they? I mean, if Collingwood play negative football and keep it close to the boundary line, it's going to be very hard for Adelaide to conjure up.
It's better out of bounds for Adelaide than in a contest which calls for ball up.
Well, it's being thrown in at left half forward. Rashudo gathers. Still Rashudo. More to the feet there of Ben Hart. There wasn't much he could do. Tarrant was right onto him.
They don't need this. Adelaide do not need this. They need the clock to stop, and the umpire hasn't called time on. It'll take forever to bounce it. You watch.
They did have a chance then with Rashudo clear with the football, didn't they? And perhaps the option that he took didn't quite work. The kick goes back towards the middle. Very important here. Waitland caps off a but the smother has been effective. Goodwin will kick the ball to within scoring range. If Adelaide can get hold of the football, they can't. It's all the way into the full forward area. Jarman follows it over. And right on the side. A magnificent game of football finishes with the ball 5 metres around from the behind post in Adelaide's full forward area. But all to no avail because Collingwood have finished in front by 2 points. Collingwood 15-9, 99. Defeat Adelaide at Football Park. Adelaide 14-13, 97.
Robbo, there should not be a loser. There should not be a loser, but I mean, Collingwood have been courageous to win. There's no doubt about it because Adelaide threw everything at them in the last quarter and they refused to lie down. Nathan Buckley picked them up and dragged them forward, but this game did not deserve to have a loser. Nathan Buckley, 31 kicks, 6 handballs, 7 marks, 7 tackles.
What did he get in the last quarter, I wonder, Buckley? It's just amazing. You're right in a way, Cornsey, but 13 kicks he had in the last quarter, Nathan Buckley, but that's what great sport's about. That fine line between first and second, and tonight we've had Curls, you're with the man of the moment. He played one of the great games.
Well, Nathan, personally a great one and a great team effort.
I know him personally, mate. It was a good win, and it was a very tough contest the whole night. There wasn't much between us, so it was good to get on top.
You haven't played for a month, and yet your match fitness was fantastic.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
I felt terrible.
You were not rucking, scouring kicks, taking kickoffs.
I felt terrible that last half. We're going to get a bit back, I think.
Well, a great win. Look, a magnificent performance by yourself and a great win for the club. Well done. Back to you, Bruce.
I got a funny feeling Buckley got the 3 votes against Port Adelaide earlier this year, and that other close one we had. For Collingwood to come to Footy Park twice, they stopped Port's run, and in fact Port has struggled ever since. And tonight, I reckon the Crows were red hot tonight. They had a terrific go. They played probably as well as they've played all year. The coaching staff put a lot of work into it. You can see their disappointment, but they've got a fair bit to take from the game, but they've missed out. And Collingwood, who haven't been in the final since 1994, they're going to be in it this year, Robbo. They are going to be in it this year.
I think their performances, I think you mentioned during the call about against Essendon, they've beaten Carlton and
they've beaten the Bulldogs,
and they've been very, very competitive this year. That young group, it's amazing what can happen when you have a few good wins over some quality opposition. Just how much the confidence grows, and players like Paul Lucuria, Nick Davis, Tarkin Lockyer, they've played enough football now. They understand they belong there, and they're playing pretty positively.
Well, I think they'll go above Port Adelaide on the ladder when we have a look at that tonight. So it's been a terrific result for them. Great game. Hope you enjoyed it. We did. Edgy to see stuff, wasn't it? Throughout the night, in the end, Collingwood by 2 points.
Great stuff.